Who's ready for ICL? Make some noise! Woo! How's everyone doing? It's me, Mickey here, and today I'm joined by the lovely Dazumu. Say hello!
What's up, everyone?
And yeah, today I hope that we're gonna see some crazy matches like we do all the time. And I am really hyped. And I have been pulled in last minute for this because unfortunately Eli couldn't make it. So I'm here with Dasmu today, and it's gonna be the dynamic duo once more. So make some noise, everybody! Woo! All right.
I do want to take a hot second. I've already said it in chat, but I've seen several people already making use of that donation function that we have right here. And I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for their support. Just so everyone knows, all money that's being donated and that's coming in from stuff like ad revenue is going to be used for next season to offer a cash prize for the winners of that season. So basically every money that you donate, can even like $1, like any little bit, we really appreciate it because it will go directly into that, and with that, hoping that we can drag even more amazing teams into here so that we can offer the very best of the best gameplay in these streams. So thank you so much for your support, because without you, we wouldn't have been able to get to this point. And I speak for everyone on the team right here. We are very grateful for your support, so thank you very much.
You guys are goated. I love you guys so much. You guys crazy. You guys are already sending out the support and all this love to us, and we could not thank you guys more for just being here. Better yet, contributing. Oh, you guys are gnarly, man. I love it. I love it all so much.
Man, I cannot wait for today's games. We are having some killer matchups coming up. First of all, Arachna versus Lost Cipher. This is going to be an interesting matchup because these two teams are kind of lower on the scoreboard, as you could have seen earlier. So it's gonna basically be a battle of whoever will have an opportunity to still make it to that third spot in the league, and we will still have an opportunity to get into the top 3, and with that get into the playoffs. So that's why that matchup is going to be really interesting and somewhat important. Still, this is only the third week. We still have some more matchups to go, so that does mean that this is not that decisive. Like, it will definitely make a difference for these teams. You don't want to be at the bottom at the end of week 3, but doesn't mean that there's not any opportunities to still make it work. And then for Team Tickle versus Legacy, the number 1 and 2 in Division A, I am ready for that matchup. That's gonna be... We have some really big names in there too. Of course, Legacy, very known, especially players such as Alien. Of course, also is a team that has been to Koei 4. So we know and we've seen that it is an incredibly strong team. And then there's Team Tickle having some really big names in there too. For example, I think someone that everyone knows in here too, John Zhao. Also a very, very famous player in this community. Also has been to Korea, if I am right. I'm not 100% sure on that because I didn't fact check that. But yeah, we are having some killer matchups coming up, and I couldn't be more excited about today.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said last week, every time I see a redemption bracket, or people refer to as losers bracket, these are always the most interesting matches. Both teams are desperately fighting to get right back up in amongst the winners of this game. And it's just all so hectic and on the edge, and you're just always constantly like, oh, who's going to hold the lead here? Who's going to come back? Who's going to come back real strong? And last Cipher and Arachna, they're both on equal playing terms, and I'm just so excited, honestly.
Yeah, me too. So let's head right into the first game. We're coming up with a Seer ban. Could still be everything. However, I would assume that it's gonna be Dream Witch. The map is gonna be Ever Sleeping, which is a good Dream Witch map for the fact that she can have a lot of Cipher pressure. We're coming in with the forward and the mechanic. Forward game-changing character. Mechanic can set herself for a solid draw if she can get that bot out and decode with it. So this is a very smart pick from the survivors here. You do want to solidify that draw with the mechanic. You do want to have someone like a forward locked in to make sure that in case things go south, that you still have an opportunity at redemption with that one's support stun, basically. We're also going to see Mercenary ban, so that does put some pressure on rescuing. Of course, Fivert is still able to pull some tricks, can, for example, stun on chair where needed, but it is going to put some pressure on rescuing. Ooh, are we getting a double decoder team call?
Prisoner, yes, because Prisoner complements Mechanic beautifully in this team comp. However, two fragile targets, if this team can make their rotations and their kites long, it will be detrimental for the Hunter to deal with, because we see this comp in China all the time. Fast Cipher Rush comp, just absolutely destructive, and Hunters just absolutely suffer.
Yeah, and especially because the Hunter is indeed gonna be Dream Witch. We did not really talk about Priestess, but Priestess on Ever Sleeping kind of speaks for itself. But like you said, indeed, Prisoner complements that mechanic beautifully, and Prisoner is actually really good against Dream Witch for the fact that he can get some Cipher progression in from another Cipher. And like I said, Dream Witch, especially on this map, has a lot of Cipher pressure, so this actually is a really good move from the surviving team, which is actually Lost Cipher. Lost Cipher is playing Survivor this round first, but it is a good, very Cipher Rush team comp. However, like I said, there's also a lot of pressure on rescuing forward. Only rescue character Priestess can, of course, pull off rescues. Priestess has her portals, is very strong on Ever Sleeping, but is not exactly a rescue character. She is able to do so, but essentially she is a support type character, not a rescue type character, and it is for a reason. She has not that high survivability around a chair. She cannot take any extra hits, like for example Mercenary can or a Gravekeeper can. So that does leave her a little bit vulnerable, but like I said, it's Ever Sleeping, so she can make it work with portals. But like I said as well, especially with Dream Witch being really good at getting those early hits, the leeching is going to be really important, because if they do not keep team condition decent, they are going to get stuffed.
Daza, before we start, I have to mention we got $15 more in donations. $5 from Eli, $5 from Melodic, and $5 from Mochi Mochi. Thank you guys so much for supporting ICL. You guys are amazing. You guys are goated. You guys are the best. I love you guys so much. And let's get into another game today. First game of the day. We got a spawn at Fake Gate. The survivors are going to be in front and one to the left of on the right of the Hunter. And this is a really good survivor spawn, because survivors are given such good quality areas in this case, but looks like she found the Prisoner first, which is going to be an ideal first target for this Dream Witch right here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ooh, Priestess is right there as well. That's not very good. That's an awful start, actually. Prisoner being the most vulnerable target. You do not want to give away any free hits to a Dream Witch, because that's disastrous, especially from mid-game on. And I think we saw it last week too. You just do not want to give away any free hits. So Priestess did make her way out, and now it's up to the Prisoner, who did use his own... who took the hit from his own leech. Priestess setting up some portals so that the Prisoner can get some good distance. A great support from the Priestess. However, on the other hand, that does mean that the Priestess is not at this moment decoding. So it really comes down to the mechanic, what she can do with her bot. And then there's the forward
drop right here. The Patroller helps the Dream Witch secure her fast down. Dream Witch is a hunter that has nothing to work with other than her traits. This is what makes her a little bit vulnerable without them, and this is why Patroller is mostly seen on Dream Witch to secure quick downs such as this one. Ciphers are looking about mediocre range right now, and right now it's anyone's game because Dream Witch is a very powerful hunter, and even though with the fast down, survivors can't come back with a comp like this, especially we see. But it looks like she's not being cheered near any ciphers except for the one that the priestess wanted to work on, forcing her to switch off of it, which is a little unfortunate because it takes a lot of time to switch ciphers, guys. So.
Yeah, however, on the other hand, Forward actually has really good progress onto Cipher. We do have Mechanic Boost decoding with both main body and bot, so there is definitely some opportunities to make it work. Nice rescue here from the Forward, just taking the hit, getting the rescue off. Is not gonna do much for the prisoner here. It's not what he should do. He should just get out of there and make sure that he's not taking any unnecessary double hits because that will only result in a double down.
Exactly.
The only downside here, of course, with sending your Forward for the first rescue is now that he's injured, he has to get healed up if he wants to support late game.
Yeah, definitely. Because with this comp right now, it's a strong tie build, like you said. And Dream Witch, usually, if they play perfectly, the most you can do is tie against them because of all their map pressure, of all their trait ability to use like traits constantly and frequently, and also just overall control. So yeah, a tie at best, a strong tie. So they're going to heal up forward, as we see here. Probably going to sacrifice the prisoner or not. Looks like Priestess is going for it, actually. Tide Turner, yeah, very good idea. Oh, there's the shock, goes off. And Prisoner's just going to try to get away and just die as far away as possible because they're going to use his 20 seconds of tide. They're not really trying to get a good rebound Kai out of this unless the Dream Witch gets greedy on this boosters right here.
Oh, I mean, Prisoner does have 2-story building. It's not a bad corner to guide it. However, Dream Witch does, of course, have a leech on the Prisoner too. So could set herself up for a sandwich here. And this double down, if they can get it off, is going to be fairly important because that will stop Cipher Rush. However, Dream Witch is actually gonna let go of the prisoner for now. Does of course have a leech on him, but is gonna prioritize getting the priestess on chair, acknowledging that the priestess has a really high self-healing speed and just wants to get the chair off to set himself up for a better endgame.
Dream Witch right there could indeed afford to go after the priestess because basically Dream Witch was like, I'm going to keep my eye on you. I got a leech. You know, there's no need for me to push this prisoner right away. Instead, I'm going to go for the priestess and waste a chair time and also get a double down. And that was really good by the Dream Witch right there because they knew they would not lose the prisoner's position. So they can indeed afford to go for a play like that. So very good knowledge by a Dreamer right there to know his options.
Yeah, so instead of getting the prisoner maybe out of the game a bit earlier now, this Dream Witch has a bit of a head start. Priestess already has been chaired once forward, had to get off of his Cipher. Ooh, cancels the portal!
1 second too slow, unfortunately. Very good placement by Problems. However, the Dream Witch caught up just as fast, and her hip swing is very quick. It goes out in a frame second of like... It's one of the fastest swings in the game, and it's very, very powerful, as you can see. And it can even cut off Priestess portals like so. And Priestess on second chair. All of a sudden, this positioning is good for the Dream Witch. Dream Witch is also in a very favorable position.
So we do have some decent Cipher progression going on. We actually have 3 Ciphers with quite some progress onto it. However,
what's going on here?
Oh! Ooh, the abnormal play. Smart move. However, like I said, there is some good progress onto other Ciphers as well. So that means that they can basically afford to just switch Ciphers. But by letting the Priestess go here, they are setting themselves up for a guaranteed lose.
Yeah, unfortunately. The thing is, I'm surprised the forward didn't go for the save right there because the Dream Witch was preoccupied with the mech, which would have been a perfect opportunity to go for a rescue. Him being full health, too. Making sure that the Dream Witch had to get off of that Cipher. But instead, he didn't give the mech time. He didn't give the mech time to prime that Cipher, pop that Cipher, you know, that type of thing. And just rescuing would have been a better move because, as we can see here, what the Dream Witch's plan was to force somebody off of their Cipher and to go rescue with Paul, but instead, they opted to keep decoding, which was not a good idea if they were going for a tie here, because if you have him die, your chances to tie become significantly lower. And we saw that Dreamer also does not need to focus on that chair all that much because he knows he has his leech on there, he has a servant on there, and that he can just be very dexterable about his choices. And that itself is what makes Dreamer so powerful.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's also what we saw with the priestess getting chaired and then consistently keeping that pressure on Prisoner. Prisoner was leeched, of course, so that means that the Dream Witch would not lose sight of Prisoner. So going for that chair on the priestess there, making sure that she's been chaired once, that the forward had to jump off of his Cipher, making it so that Dream Witch bought more time for herself. She sacrificed a little bit of time that she could have used chasing the Prisoner to buy herself way more time in that endgame. Like we saw, they could not afford to actually rescue the priestess because they said they did not have the progress for it. They were a little bit behind, and that's something likely that could have been caused by that early game, the fact that priestess and the prisoner were at the very same spot, so there was probably a bit of miscommunication on rotation or something like that. Could also, of course, be that the priestess wanted to support the prisoner, but it's not necessarily something you want to do that early into the game, because you do need, especially against the Dream Witch, who is basically dominating that middle game because of the fact that she will put out leeches throughout the entire game. It's not necessarily something you want. The early game is still in favor of the survivors, even though, of course, the weakest target got found, which is the prisoner in this case. So a bit of an unfortunate start. It's sadly costing them here.
I definitely think that the game could have been salvaged to at least a tie, but the decision to not rescue the priestess was honestly very unfortunate because the forward, like I said, may have even had a free rescue because the Dream Witch was very preoccupied with the mechanic at the Cipher, and that was plenty of ample time to rescue. And I just thinking that maybe it would have been a better idea to rescue or not. But look at these mind games on the mechanic. It's like threatening the pallet right there, but the Dream Witch just knows.
Ooh, nice illusion. I'm sure Johnny will be proud of that one. But sadly, and I hate situations like these. Forward is not able to do a lot. He cannot pick himself up anymore, so all mechanic can do is kite until the forward actually bleeds out, and it's a mechanic. And mechanic is doing a fantastic job, but sadly in vain because the forward could not pick himself up. So there is no way that the mechanic could actually make it towards a dungeon that was on the other side of the map as well. So this is going to result in a 4-man elimination, making a great start for Arachna.
Indeed, amazing dynamic start for Arachna, giving them a lot of leeway for their survivors. But one thing I should note here is both teams played exceptionally well. But can we talk about the Dream Witch's choices? Very good, risky choices that ended up paying off for them. Like choosing not to chase the prisoner and choosing down the priestess. That choice alone gave them such a huge advantage. And wow, it's just amazing. And we got
I agree.
From Kim right there. I don't know how much that translates into our currency, but I still think it's a lot. Thank you, Kim, so much. And honestly, yes, thank you for your continued support, everyone here. Wow, you guys with all these donos, you guys are amazing. Honestly, you guys are. Wow.
You guys are absolutely insane. I'll be honest. I did not expect this. And like I said, I am incredibly grateful for everyone's support, and I will definitely try and make sure that you guys are getting the shout outs you deserve in the future. Like you already saw in this first match, or like at the start of the stream as well. I've been trying to work on improving the stream. And once again, the fact that all of you have been supporting this as much as you've been doing does make it so that we can also do more. For the fact that we just have more tools at hand. So thank you once again for all of your support. If it is from donating money to even just showing up for the stream to like cheer on your favorite teams, anything already helps loads. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys, for your continued support of ICL. And we literally just opened the donation function. And within a matter of a couple minutes, we received maybe about total of like $50 now. That's crazy. That's crazy. Honestly, you guys show so much love and so much support to ICL, and I'm just here for it. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. But Daza, I'm gonna challenge you to do something. Let's try to make things a little interesting this round.
All right.
So when commentators, I notice on different sports, they have different styles of commentary, like different energy levels, different ways they say things. I was thinking we should let chat pick which type of style of commentary that we each do, because there's the tennis, which is like really quiet, really like precise. There's boxing, which is like loud and like outgoing. There's basketball, which is like pretty standard commentary. Football, football's really hype. And then there's just so many different ways to commentate sports. And I was just curious to see, like, our way is definitely like esports type, but I was just thinking, how would it sound in different perspectives? Huh?
Oh man. I mean, I'll be honest, I would love to try it. But I actually don't know a lot about commentary, especially for sports and such. So I'll have to look into that first. I'll definitely have to do some research on that. And not many of you actually know this, because like, as you know, I'm not really big into streaming. I don't really stream a lot myself. I just stick to doing ICL and sometimes other tournaments. I actually started out trying to help out a small community tournament. They were looking for someone who could stream it, so I kind of learned my way around OBS, and the result of that little tournament is what you see here. I have been able to learn quite a few things, and I am consistently learning new stuff that I'm trying to put into the stream. And like I said, it is possible because all of you keep supporting this, and it really motivates me to bring this to an even higher level. But with that, I actually never did a lot of research on commentating, and yeah, I am trying. I am definitely trying my best to pick up new stuff on commentating as well, because I think it's really important, and I would love to bring you guys even more else on that. So I am definitely working on that. And once again, really grateful for everyone's support, but I do not know if I can pull off trying different commentating.
They want to see boxing commentary. Oh God, that's.
Oh no! I never even saw a boxing match. I never saw that.
Basically, you need to be like, okay, so boxing. Let me give the gist of it. That's a boxing is basically where you like hype up both sides a lot, and you point out like all the key things, like where they go like, oh, knockout, woo, like they get like this uppercut and then like go crazy, right? That's the like what boxing commentating is. So like, say we get like a tear shock, we'll be like, tear shock on the other side, or something like that, you know?
Oh, dear, can you imagine me doing that? Can you imagine me going like, whoa, that's a tear shock, let's go!
Tear shock, bye dreamer, that crowd goes wild.
I mean, I'll try to like be more loud next round if that's what you all want to see. I cannot promise anything, but I'll just try to get that hype in there. Anyways, it seems like we are gonna go Into the character selection.
Oh,
And starting
man.
off with that mechanic band. Fair enough. Do we even need to explain more about that?
No, not really. Mechanic is a body of is a very insurance type character. Basically, if you have a mechanic, you have a strong chance to die because her Cipher Rush with her bot, if she dies fast, so what? She still got bot out. Unless bot is jeopardized, mechanic has a very strong bounce to get a tie.
And it seems like they said, all right, so you're gonna ban mechanic. That's fine. We're just gonna go in with that rescue heavy team comp, high survivability. We've seen it before. We had a short while actually where triple rescue team comps and then it being complemented with the explorer has been popular quite a bit. However, we're gonna see that's not what we're gonna see here. We're still gonna see a really fairly high survivability team comp coming in with the Seer, making it so that even if the prisoner gets found first, he can use that owl and prolong that very first kite. So it's definitely a good pick from Arachna here. Just kind of playing it somewhat safe, giving themselves a lot of options in order if one of the weaker two survivors get found with that Seer. And then of course Prisoner, Cipher Rush, especially if it's a Dream Witch, like I said, being able to decode from a distance is really important, but it also kind of goes for Sculptor. And then it went silent. Mickey, are you still there?
No. I just kind of wanted to
no.
see what you would do if you like if I just kind of gave you the anchor. Because Dazzler, you gotta get out there, man. We're gonna do boxing commentary, Dazzler. You gotta be able to carry solo, and I know you can do it. You're amazing at this.
I'll try my best. I am not sure. I'll just try and go with the flow, alright? Also, I see Sue saying, mentioned a full rescue set from TPC. Actually, TPC indeed went a full rescue team comp in the ICL from last season. Actually managed to get a win out of that. You would say really slow Cipher Rush, so you're definitely sacrificing that Cipher progression in order to get higher survivability on the team, but it worked out in TVC's favor. So it's definitely possible to make a 4 rescue team comp work. I mean, if you think about it, this makes sense. You don't really want to chase any of those targets, so you are forced to go chase one of these survivors that have these abilities they can use to prolong their kites with sometimes even up to 20 seconds, maybe even more. I've seen kites getting prolonged, especially if it's a Gravekeeper and he gets a good shuffle off. Just forces the hunter away altogether.
We gotta do the boxing intros. On the hunter side, she's real, she's got wheels, and a chisel of steel. Sculptor! On the survivor side, they're fast, their Cipher Rush is quick, and they'll run you out like a fiddlestick. Survivors Rescue Comp. Here we go. Alright, looks like we got the Dancing Geisha spawn for the Hunter, and they're gonna run into 2 survivors right in the way, and they're gonna see the Seer, but hopefully he gets away with his rotation.
Seer running off. He is speeding off. He's out of there.
He's not gonna get caught. There's no way.
Seer doing great job maintaining that distance. Seer really said, alright, Sculptor, it's kind of weakness, especially with the owl. I can make it work, but it's gonna be hard. I want distance. I want to make sure to rotate the heck out of this hunter, prolong the kite without actually even having to put in the work.
And there goes the owl. Perfect owl from the Seer, securing all this distance.
Ooh, and Ford coming in with the support stun here.
Oh, a teleport. That caught me off guard.
I mean, it is fair. Seer had a lot of distance with that owl. Only has one chip hit. It's not really worth it to continue to chase, and especially Prisoner. Prisoner is a vulnerable target.
Prisoner taking 2 chips. Only one more hit is needed. Can he survive? Come on, make the window vault.
Ooh, nice double back. Beautiful double back from Psyche there. Acknowledging this sculptor's just gonna play some touches on that window. I do not want to deal with it. I do not want to give away a hit there. However, Sculptor is doing great on that sculptor placement.
These statues are so accurate. They're like sharpshooters. There's the hit. Dodges the hit. Very good job from the Prisoner. Right here in this corner. Not securing no downs. Wow, this kite's long. This guy's really long.
This is a great kite, especially like I said. Ooh, you jinxed it. You jinxed it there.
Oh, you're right, I did. But you know,
you
look, we got a Cipher. We got a Cipher. It doesn't matter. Oh god.
But beautiful job from Prisoner. Like I said, vulnerable target still made it work in the graveyard area. Graveyard has some nice pellets to work with, but at the same time it's very narrow, so it does work in Sculptor's favor. Like you saw, beautiful chip hits from this Hunter. This got this Prisoner on chair. It seems like they're not really gonna go ahead and rescue this for the fact Forward and Seer both have chip hits on them. Seer did get the first kite. Forward had to come in for that support stun, so that does mean that they are a little behind on Cipher progression. They had sacrificed a little bit. It's not looking too grim though. That middle Cipher is close to being finished. 2 other Ciphers are done. Mercenary coming in for the save after a half. Does get the body block off.
He's definitely trying to buy just 20 seconds of time, I can see. Yeah, but fantastic rescue from Mercenary. Beautiful job.
So the Prisoner sadly took that statue hit there. Oh, but there's the Forward.
Oh, Forward's gonna try to do something. Can we get a stun? Can it? Will it? Shoot
Beautiful
it?
chip on the Forward.
Being very patient for the sculptor.
Forward is not giving up.
Nope, Forward is not. He's relentless. He's
forced to run off though. Sadly, was forced to run off. Could not afford to take another hit. Beautiful job once again from Sculptor here. However, survivors are not in a terrible position. It's not looking amazing. They have to heal up here if they want to pull off this rescue. It's a mercenary chair, so it does buy them some time. But Forward is right there.
How much is that last Cipher?
Definitely not something you want. They want to get that Cipher down that the Prisoner was decoding at the start of the game.
Oh, can it? Will it?
Oh, Forward going down!
Oh, man. That's crazy.
Ooh, that's gonna cost them. Forward going down on that lost Cipher.
Yeah, definitely. Here's the thing, because now they're in a tougher situation, knowing that no one's decoding in order for this rescue to happen. I think this is Pit. Yeah, this is Pit. Pit knows that that he doesn't need to worry about Cipher Rush now, so he's just at his calm pace. He's at his own. He's just waiting around now for the Seer to come by. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the Sculptor has the upper hand here. Forward is gonna pick himself up. Is gonna try and push that Cipher down, but like you saw, it's only 80%. It's not actually worth it to push it. We've seen a lot of situations where survivors tend to die on that lost Cipher because they're trying to pressure down a Cipher while the team condition is just not up for it. And that's why a lot of people, or a lot of teams actually, tend to die on that very last Cipher, which is sadly kind of what we see happen here.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, the Sculptor played it very well, downing that Forward, making sure there's not a single bit of Cipher Rush going for the Survivors team. Looks like it's going to be an equal 4-4. 5 points each side.
It definitely is. However, I mean, there still is an opportunity that Cipher is 80%. Sadly, forward, of course, once again died on it. Not a lot he could do, though. You have to keep in mind, Prisoner already kited in that area. Sculptor full presence is basically an impossible kite. I'll be honest. If you can kite a full presence Sculptor, especially at this level,
very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, that's definitely impressive, and you definitely have my respect if you can pull it off. Because it's really hard.
Not only is she a tracking class hunter, and she can find out exactly where you are, but those statues home in on you like heat sinker missiles. So you're not only dodging bullets, you're dodging aimed bullets. And that ain't easy.
No, definitely not. Like, even if you're out in the open, like we have seen a lot, even if you're out in the open,
oh no.
Sadly, they're going down trying to pick up the forward. Really unfortunate. However, great match from Sculptor. Definitely had a rough start. Survivors played it well. Coming with the sear, coming with that support stun, forcing the hunter to switch targets, but then teleporting onto the prisoner. And even though prisoner did a good guide, it was all he could do. Like I said, this is graveyard you're dealing with, very narrow area, and the hunter had some amazing statues.
Definitely. And here comes the last bit of boxing commentary because I don't know what to say. We on the hunter side got a 4K, securing 5 points for their team.
So now the score is actually tied. We are 5-5, meaning that this round is not gonna go to any of the teams. And like I said at the start, you have to keep in mind, these two teams are fighting for an opportunity to still make it into that third place spot to secure that very final spot into the playoffs.
Yeah, everyone's playing in the metal. Everyone's playing their best. Hunters, survivors all alike are just giving it their all. And this is why these matches are the best matches to watch. And then after this, we're also going to see two teams play against each other who have won their previous showdowns, Team Tickle and Legacy. Going to be a very cool matchup to watch, I feel.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for that one.
Yeah, for sure. From co-op players against new rising team. Who knows? Maybe Team Tickle today will make a name for themselves.
Yeah, no, indeed. Like I said before, Team Tickle has some really big names on the team. However, Legacy is also not to be messed with. Legacy never lost a matchup in the ICL so far.
I just got a Dragon Ball Z ad. Yeah, everyone, if you want to support ICL, please remember to deactivate your ad blockers. That's up to you, though. I'm going to do it here because I support ICL, so yeah.
I mean, essentially, like I said, it's all up to you to what extent you want to support the stream. We're very grateful for any bit of support. Of course, watching ads helps us loads because we will use that revenue in order to get that cash prize in for next season and hopefully get even bigger and better teams into here. Not saying that any of the teams that are playing right now aren't up to the challenge. We are already having some really amazing teams here, but we just want to give this our all. And every bit of support helps a lot, but at the same time, just being here, just viewing this, just watching this, and also for the people who are just chilling here, participating in chat, every little bit already helps us a lot because you have to keep in mind every view we get already puts us ahead in YouTube's algorithm. So just you being here already means a lot to us. And if you want to support us even more, that's completely up to you. We're grateful for you doing so, of course. We're more than grateful for that. But at the same time, don't feel pressured to do so.
Yeah, guys, it's really up to you how much you want to choose to support and commit to ICL. It's really up to you guys. And honestly, anything, just you guys being here, like I said, already makes me pretty happy. Makes Dazza happy. Makes all of us happy. So, Indeed, like our server, like Dazzler refers it to, we're the forgotten middle child, and we're just trying to get noticed by the other servers and other people out there in the IDV community. So you guys showing up and increasing those numbers are definitely gonna catch their attention, catch their eyes. So.
And I mean, I don't know if everyone already knows it here, but it's actually last season we already had a official ICL commentator commentating over some of the ICL matches. So we are already getting some recognition from official commentators from the other servers. So the start is already there, and that's already huge to us that they actually have seen this thing. They've actually seen some of these teams playing, commentated over it, streaming it on their own platform, and that already is a great start. But I'll be honest, maybe I'm a bit greedy here, but I do want more.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely more tournaments for our server is definitely a really good thing, honestly. And I also would love that we're getting recognized finally, even just a little bit. An official IVL commentator, like that's nuts. That's nuts. They're paying attention to us. They're noticing. They're even taking the time to commentate over games that have already been played. Like honestly, it's just amazing. It's very kind of them to do that for us.
Oh, I'm just reading chat. I have to read this one loud. From Joanna. Damn girl, are you a magician? Because I got close and you disappeared. That was hilarious.
That is so funny, actually. I like that. Good pickup lines.
Oh yeah, come on,
pickup
come
lines is
on,
so
just bring us your best pickup lines. We'll read them. Maybe
yeah,
Mickey
guys.
will even read it in his boxing commentator voice.
Yeah, I
let's
can
go.
read it. In my boxing pickup
Yeah.
lines in a boxing commentator voice.
Yeah, let's go. Do it in your commentator voice.
All right.
That would be a weird way of flirting, though. Imagine someone coming up to
Just
their
start
pickup line and they'd be like,
You just
"Well, hello there. Are you a magician?" Oh, indeed.
All right, from Vivi, are you Ento? Because I want you to be mine. That's actually pretty good. Wow.
That was actually.
Oh, God, bro.
I should probably not have said that. This maybe wasn't my best.
You were brilliant. You were brilliant. It was amazing. It was so funny. Everyone give some love to Dazza. She tried her best. It was awesome. I liked it. It was fun.
I tried my best. Yeah. No, that kind of does summarize this. I tried my best.
No, I don't think
This
about
is
that.
my ICL mood. I'm just going out and like, today I'm gonna try my best. Also, I see a lot of people talking about Persuable being a commentator, and I'll be honest, that would be awesome. But I think he's kind of done with Identity 5. Yeah. So I would love to try and ask him. But at the same time,
unlikely. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't expect it to happen. I'm already really grateful to have Gats in here. Gats also a huge name in this community, great commentator. So really happy to have him here as a commentator. And maybe in the future we'll be able to recruit some more amazing streamers to commentate for us. But yeah, for now, Mickey and I, let's go.
Yes, ma'am. That's top commentators and AU.
I mean, at least we are filling these intermissions.
Yeah, for real. Like the intermissions are always the part where everyone's like skip. But you know, we are making good filler. Filler is honestly the hardest part to do about commentating, in my opinion. Filler is very difficult to pull off.
Oh yeah, indeed. Like of course we can still talk about the match. However, at the same time, I feel like most stuff has already been said. We could go like really trying to get deep into all these details, but at the same time, and at least that's for me. I also want to keep up a positive environment. I don't want to like point out all the negative aspects in a match. So which is why I won't. And if people want to do that, that's fine. That's
What your boat,
completely
whatever
on
floats
you.
your
That's
boat.
just a different commentating style. But yeah, at the same time, that's not really who I am as a
Yeah.
commentator.
Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with that style either, where they're like super technical and they like point out everything that could. But yeah, it's insightful. I agree. There are some times you should point out things that could have been done better. But if you overdo it, it's like I said. You know that saying that's too much of one thing is bad. That goes for
Yeah.
as well.
But then at the same time, we're just here screaming. So that
Oh
I
my
don't know
God,
if that's a lot better.
Exactly. We got
But
the
it does
pickup line.
seem actually like we are gonna head back into the character selection. So we have on coin toss, and we're actually gonna see Sacred Heart, which is somewhat of an interesting second round pick. Very survivor happy map. I am not sure, and I'm really curious actually what team chose this map. Typically, you want to choose this map if you are confident that your hunter can get his downs, but you need to get some survivors out of there. Like I have said several times, NAU very hunter dominant, and for that reason, sometimes it comes down to what team can get a survivor out of the gate or the dungeon first, and that might be why we're seeing a map like Sacred Heart here.
Sacred Heart, definitely not a map to disregard for survivors, because a lot of the hospital just goes synergized with so many of the survivors' abilities. Like it keeps them safe for long durations and like for a long time. And definitely, it's definitely a good spot to do for survivors. Like Daza said, which I could not say any better. It's definitely for those who are confident in their hunters, because if you give them Sacred Heart, if you choose Sacred Heart for your survivors, you're also favoring their survivors. So you need to be careful of like what choices you make based off of both sides and how efficiently you guys play on the map itself. So that's definitely a very interesting choice, a very risky choice, but high risk, high reward. This could pay off for them. This map was chosen by which team?
It's actually chosen by Arachna.
Arachna.
And to be fair, we have seen a great hunt around from Dreamer just now. So it seems like Arachna is trying to put themselves up, trusting their hunter to do their job, and then trying to get those survivors out of the gate. That's probably what their game plan is. And we know that, and we've actually seen so in Call of Abyss as well, where before you actually chose to go with Leo's Memory is not a popular map. I think we've never seen it in ICL, or maybe once, but I'm not sure. But we barely see it. However, they chose that map for the reason that they thought that they could get some survivors out of there if they played it well, but at the same time they were fairly confident, and it was actually against Legacy too, that they that with that map choice they would give their hunter an easier time getting those downs, and they actually really practiced on that, and it worked out for them.
Definitely. You see teams like B4U come up with the most like unique strategies you will ever see. They're very efficient too, honestly. The way they play is also very efficient. It's a very unique style. It's the B4U way, and it's unlike any other NAU team I've seen, honestly. And we saw them play it in Koa, and obviously, yes, there was a ping disadvantage, which kind of blew. But I'm pretty sure they would play just as good as any other pro Koa
Anyways,
team.
it seems like we are getting a mechanic and a Searban, and the Explorer coming in. Ooh, that's really interesting, actually, in my opinion, at least, because we have seen Explorer being played a bunch. Like I said, triple rescue with Explorer just hiding and forcing the hunter to chase any of the high survivability type characters. But we haven't seen that comp a lot, actually. They kind of got back from it, going back to the double decoding team comp. It looks like that's kind of something the hunter wants to ban here. With the getting that mechanic out of the way immediately. They are gonna go for that priestess in hospital, which is gonna be a pain to deal with. Same as after sleeping,
no.
it's a pain to deal with. Once again, prisoner coming in, mercenary obviously, because mercenary can just confirm that very first rescue.
Yeah, definitely. Mercenary is also another form of insurance. Honestly, guys, the best survivors are really your insurance survivors. They're the ones that guarantee you have good rescues, good cipher rush, good protection, like anything, good support. Basically, that's what I call. That's why I refer to S tier characters as the insurance characters. I think I'm the only one that does that, but it makes sense. to
No,
me.
I think you are totally right on that. I think that's the best way to put it, because mercenary can ensure one rescue, mechanic can ensure one cipher being decoded and basically promoting that cipher rush even if she gets scared. Forward is to me the only exception in meta, for the fact that Forward in itself, he is more so a game-changing character, so he's a make or break character. You can play him very well, change the tide of a game with a good stun, but at the same time, if you put yourself in a necessary risk, you can throw a game. You can definitely throw a game as Forward if you go harass at the wrong time.
Forward is a make or break character. It can make your game if you harass correctly and perfectly, but it can also break your game if you fail to harass and you get attacked.
Definitely. Ooh, we're gonna see Breaking Wheel.
Oh man, after you see these Dream Witch bands, after you see these Hunter bands, you usually see Breaking Wheel, and it's always interesting. I love Breaking Wheel. He's so popular in what's it called, IVL as well. I noticed a lot of Breaking Wheel matches. A lot of survivors learning how to kite him very efficiently, and it's amazing, honestly, to see how people are going against this such dominant hunter who has honestly Breaking Wheel has coverage in every aspect: map pressure, camp, chase, all of it. He has all of it, literally.
I mean, I agree. However, there's one thing that makes it so that I won't classify this hunter as an S tier hunter, and that's the fact that he still can get looped. Windows are his biggest enemy, and for that reason, we've seen it several times that if the survivors can manage to get a decent spawn and can get themselves into a good position, they can loop that hunter early game. And if the hunter doesn't get his first chair in time, it can definitely throw off their game.
Here's the thing about Breaking Wheel. I noticed that if you have a strong first kite, it's hard for him to rebound. But if he gets a good, quick down, the game becomes easy for him to snowball and dominate in. And this is something that was pointed out by a Chinese commentator I was watching the other day. And I agree with him. He's very right about that. Breaking Wheel, heavily snowball hunter. If you give him a quick down at the start, it's going to be almost impossible to recover from him.
Yeah, indeed. And I think from what we've seen so far, Tyrone is a really good example of that. Because what Tyrone, we've seen last week from Tyrone is that once he got that survivor on chair, he was going to go to the nearest cipher, push those survivors off, slow down that cipher rush using his speed to the very best of his ability, and doing a beautiful job doing so. And with that, getting stuff like double downs, using that presence ability to basically ensure the fact that the survivors are not getting away, and even so, using that speed to just catch up. Also, I am not the one who's running the stream. Olive is actually running the stream, so if there's anything, just make sure to point out to Olive and not me.
We got a statue spawn. They're going to go right towards the mercenary, which is not an ideal target for Breaking Wheel or any hunter, really. So he's going to move on quickly, as we see here. And he's going to go into find the prisoner. All right, so this is an ideal target for Breaking Wheel because the prisoner is the Cipher Rush meat of the team, having Mechanic being banned. And he's going to reach the window. This is very good for the prisoner. Ooh, what a nice circle and window vault from the prisoner right there.
Beautiful job from the prisoner.
Yeah, prisoner over here utilizing this window.
Yeah, he is abusing that window.
Wow.
Beautiful job from the prisoner. Nothing, like I said, Hunter is loopable. Nothing he could do here is forced out of that wheel form because he does want to stay onto this prisoner, being the weakest target, being the fastest decoder too.
Indeed. Oh, prevented him from getting that portal right there. Very good job of the wheel by Dreamer to keep him in that position. But there's another support coming in.
Oh, went through that portal a little too early.
And now here's the thing. He's got that window again. Interesting the transformer here. You probably could have kept chasing him. I think he could have kept. Ooh, cuts off his hospital route. Very good.
I mean,
move
I
by
do understand that he wants to get that portal out of the way, but like you said, he could have closed in a lot of this distance.
Ooh, blocked off that pallet right there. Good utilization of the shock right there. Making sure that he doesn't go much further. Ooh, nice trap, but it's just a second too slow from the breaking right there. Breaks the pallet, forces prisoner to go into triple pallet. Triple pallet's a very good idea for hunters to. Ooh, nice trap.
Beautiful trap.
That down costed the breaking wheel Cipher though. This is looking like a tie, maybe even a win for the survivors if played correctly. Because there's no Cipher he's being cheered on, he popped it.
Right, but like you said, this is a snowball type hunter. If this hunter plays his cards right, he can still set himself up for solid tie.
Ooh, Mercenary walked right into him. That's gonna give him a spike. That's gonna make the rest
probably gonna get the spike regardless of the fact he used his presence ability. However, now there was no way to dodge it. Mercenary doing a good job not getting spiked. And so it's not gonna be a double down with that one.
Full presence wheel. Everyone knows full presence wheels are quite obnoxious.
Yeah, that's definitely the issue here. He's gonna try to get one spike on his prisoner, which he gets here, and then it's just a... Ooh.
The snap. Yep. Very good move by the wheel right there. To tag him with that spike and then use him to secure his quick downs. This is why wheel usually is a tie at best, even if survivors play really well, because he can get those down so quickly. There's no chance to rebound against a breaking wheel.
Yeah, and it's just like has been said quite a bit of times. There's no getting away from that chair.
Yeah, for sure. Wheel is something where it's almost like old Bonbon. Remember old Bonbon? Old Bonbon. Yeah, it definitely is. Is this the stuff?
Ooh, beautiful job from the hunter using his popping out of the wheel form, that ability to get the survivor out of the rescue animation.
Yeah, exactly.
They're trying to bait it out, but the forward is gonna get picked up. Prisoner gonna take it. Mercenary taking another hit. Nothing they can do about that.
Not ideal for the survivors. This is no longer ideal for the survivors. Just like that, the pace of the match is now shifted in Dreamer's favor right here.
Ooh, Mercenary going down too.
Oh my goodness, he took down the Mercenary with balloon hits. This is such
beautiful
a
job from Dreamer here. And like we saw, this is definitely a scenario where you actually do not want to rescue as soon as someone is down right at the chair. There is nothing the person that gets off chair can do about it. You can take a hit, but they cannot get away. So it's typically a situation, especially if there is still several survivors remaining. And like I said, they just want to settle for a tie. They just need to get some survivors out of here. So this is definitely a situation where you actually do not want to rescue, and you can see what happens if you do, sadly.
Right there. Definitely sacrificing would have been the better move. It was a very risky move for the forward to go for that. A full presence wheel is no joke, especially if he gets
forward could go for the rescue, but the mercenary, in my opinion, shouldn't have come in. For the fact that forward was down, so the prisoner couldn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very rough situation, but like I said, full presence, breaking wheel, no joke. And just like that, all survivors are down.
Wow, going from a draw to a 4-man elimination. Really well played from Dreamer, and definitely making that snowball effect, showing us why they call him a snowball hunter. Ford is actually gonna try and do a thing here, but sadly just couldn't really do much.
Not much. That's a good game. Good job from the breaking wheel. Good job from the survivors. However, like Daza said, having the mercenary go in for that rescue was a very risky play right there, and it did not pay out for them at all. It did not pay out well for the survivors at all.
Yeah, no, it's just from that one down at the chair with the forward, just really went downhill from there, I would say. Which is really unfortunate to see, of course, because they were not in a great spot. It was still kind of anyone's game at that point, but forward getting down, of course, unfortunate, but they could still somewhat make it work. But then the mercenary coming in for that rescue, the balloon attacks and such, that just solidified the game for Dreamer and got that 4-man elimination for Arachna.
Yeah, set in stone. Very good gameplay from both sides. While we saw last Cipher having a very strong start with the kite being pretty good from the prisoner, and like the situation was looking favorable for them, looking like a tie, looking like, okay, this is going to be a nice, smooth game. That choice, that forward stuff just turned the entire game around.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a beautiful stuff on the breaking wheel there. Great job from Dreaming, and yeah, from there on, things really went downhill for the surviving team. They had a good start, but sadly, just wasn't enough. And then that small mistake kind of cost them the game. And it's something that can happen. I do want to point it out. It wasn't a huge mistake the forward made there. He just hesitated a little bit on that rescue, which is something that can happen. And sadly, it changed it changed the flow of the game into Breaking Wheel's favor. Because, like I said, it was kind of anyone's game at that point. So from there on, a small mistake on either side can have a disastrous effect for the game flow for your faction, which is what we saw. So yeah, don't be too harsh on any of these players for that. It's just something that can happen to anyone. I am a firm believer of the fact that you generally do not lose a game over one small mistake. If that's the case, more has happened in that early game, for example, such as wasting too much time not decoding. You name it. It can be small things to put your team at somewhat of a disadvantage. Not necessarily a big one, just a little bit that kind of messes with the flow of the game. And then a small mistake can have huge effects.
Definitely. Wheel is a hunter where you cannot afford to make huge mistakes or even minor mistakes against, because just his snowball potential is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wheel is crazy snowball potential.
Is this what they meant by forward is a make or break? Not necessarily. This is just a regular survivor that just hesitated on a rescue. More what we meant with forward being a make or break character is sometimes what you'll see is that forwards opt to harass at the wrong times. This can be when they cannot really afford to take a hit and they get injured unnecessarily, bring the game into danger later into the match. So let's say they try and harass before the first chair, as an example, and they get injured through it. It means that later into the game, forward cannot rescue unless he can do a stun on chair. So that unnecessarily puts a lot of pressure on the survivor team, because you have a now injured survivor that actually wasn't able to do much. They maybe bought like 10 seconds harassing, but that doesn't getting the tie turner, of course, gives 20 seconds, so it doesn't really matter much in the end. And it's kind of stuff like that. No, it just comes down when knowing when to harass. That's basically it, and that's why he's a make or break character, because not a lot of people know when exactly you should harass and when you shouldn't. Like there are some guidelines of, for example, people saying you should first finish a Cipher machine before you go harass. That's a good example of it. There's more things. It kind of depends on the situation. And as a forward, what is very important is that you have a lot of game sense. So you know when you need that game changer, when you need that stun to make sure that the game falls back into the survivor favor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so make or break, like Daza explained, is when a forward chooses to harass. It's the timing he chooses to harass at. That right there, with a wheel full presence, rescue has to be frame perfect. If you rescue him right before he gets those spikes off, it will be successful. But any assorted time after that, it's going to be unsuccessful. It's a frame perfect rescue. It's very difficult to pull off. It's typically why rescuers use it. Like Gravekeeper, he does not struggle with that, trust me. He can rescue before the spikes even go off. But right there, it was forward, regular rescue speed. It made it really tough on him. It had to be frame perfect. It was a tough rescue. But like you say, then the hesitation did cost them in the end from the forward.
Yeah. But we are gonna see how Lost Cipher Survivor team is gonna fight back. They're not out of the game. It's still a draw. If they 4-man, it's still a draw. But Arachna is definitely at a favorable position, especially considering that, like I said, it's Sacred Heart. They also have that Priestess and the forward Hunter actually opting to ban the Mercenary, where the other Hunter just banned the Seer. So we can basically assume from that we're not gonna see another Breaking Wheel. We are actually more likely gonna see. I actually am not too sure what Lost Cipher's Hunter usually plays. Sculptor is being banned. We have seen a beautiful Sculptor from them, so it's totally fair that Sculptor's getting banned here. I would definitely do the same. But that leaves several options open. Dream Witch, it's of course a strong pick. Not sure if you will see that because Sacred Heart is not great for Dream Witch. But like I said, I do not really know what this Hunter plays. It could be something like a Bonbon, for example, would make sense with the mechanic and the Mercenary ban. And of course, Bonbon is still considered a fairly strong Hunter. It has his downs, especially with the hospital, but then again, a lot of Hunters struggle with hospital because, like Miki said earlier, a lot of survivors, their abilities, they just fit well with that hospital area. We're actually indeed gonna see a Bonbon though, so
Yeah, Last Cipher's Hunter Galaxy Iris is a specialist of Bonbon and Sculptor. Plays on PC, very talented hunter, and definitely can make it work. Definitely can make it work here in a hospital because Bonbon using peepers in hospitals popular. We see in IVL because peepers stop hospital loop and they let the hunter know exactly where the survivor is, giving them chances to cut them off, surprise them, catch them off guard, all those things. And that's why peepers is a very good trait to run on a hospital. And we might see Bonbon peeper, but another scene is teleport. Obviously, you can't go wrong with teleport. It's a very safe pick. It's a very.
I mean, teleport would be nice. However, with this team comp, I'm not necessarily sure if that's something you want. I would say Peepers is probably better because, of course, you can try and teleport onto the Seer, which would be the weakest target in this team comp. You do not really want to chase Gravekeeper. It's possible, but same goes for forward. Priestess also not really someone you want to chase, so Seer would be your weakest link, but at the same time, is it worth bringing teleport to get to the Seer? So in that light, I would say we might see a trump card build with Peepers, like you said, to counter that hospital area, but maybe I could be totally wrong and they still opt to go for that teleport.
Yeah, indeed. With this team comp, if you run into forward, you're gonna have some trouble. You run into actually I see Bonbon chase forward pretty well sometimes, but it's very situational.
It's definitely possible, especially for the fact that he can get those long range bombs off and forward. Once he uses his dash, he has that moment where he stands still, so he cannot dodge any bombs at that moment. So they can definitely work in Bonbon's favor. Same kind of goes for Priestess. Priestess needs to stand still for a second to get those portals off. and has to be very smart about it for that reason. If Bonbon makes a good prediction, the Priestess can still take a bomb hit. Same goes for Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper can still get bombed out of his shuffle if the Bonbon makes a good prediction.
Honestly, here's the thing about Hospital. Hunters do have a disadvantage on it, but this is where we see the brilliant Hunters make these amazing choices that save them the game, regardless of the map. So it's really up to the Hunter's mindset, choices, and decisions that will make or break the game for them on this map. We see a 2-pallet dungeon spawn. The survivors are going to be in front and to the left of the Hunter. This is a survivor type favored spawn because you have that guaranteed survivor at Shack, sometimes even 2 of them if you get that spawn. But in this case, we only got 1, and it's the Priestess. It's a very tough chase. I would not recommend the Bonbon to chase them, but 5-second bomb right there, Psyche not falling for it, walking right past that bomb, saying, I know that you're capable of throwing 5-second bombs, and being aware that that's an option. Right there. Blocking him off from Hospital. Very good move with Galaxy Iris. If you let Priestess get Hospital, you're pretty much screwed. But Priestess...
Yeah, it's a Priestess and she can just portal from everywhere outside of Hospital right into it. Which is exactly what Psyche does. He said, well, if you're gonna place a bomb there, I'm gonna place a portal there. Easy.
A 1-for-1 trade. Very good thought process from Psyche right there. Well thought out. Are we going to see broken windows on his comp right there?
It does make sense in his team comp. Usually in tournaments, in rank, you sometimes see triple Tide Turner builds. In this case, in tournaments, it's not necessarily something you want. You just need to shoot Tide Turners. Ooh, the Turner shot through the window!
The bomb right there took the owl last minute.
Enough.
That's not enough. The owl was bombed off, and Seer did not realize that that could happen, making the Priestess kite almost to nothing now because she's on a Cipher. Ooh.
Going for the stun on chair, respecting the heck out of the bomb.
Very interesting. No tie from the forward.
Ooh.
Forward going in for another stun.
Going in with that support.
Yes, weighing in the support, but unfortunately, the window vault speed was used by the Seer already, so he's not going to get a boost from that window right there. But he will ever be able to make it its ballot, but the remote bomb makes it so it won't matter all that much. But he's
Galaxy Iris is doing a beautiful job here.
Indeed, he is. But now he's
off. Shot was a huge game changer into Bonbon's favor. Then the stun on chair, of course, it doesn't buy a lot of time for these survivors. They do want to, of course, get the safe rescue off. It's really important, but at the same time, it does not buy a lot of time for your survivor team. Priestess was being chased off the Cipher. Forward has to come off the Cipher in order to do it. Is far from ideal, and there are 4 Ciphers remaining at this very moment.
Yeah, indeed. Also, the Bonbon build is up-down teleport. So detention is here for safety. Honestly, insurance for the Bonbon, because he's saying if he can get himself at least a draw will be beneficial. But it's going to be very hard on last Cipher because having a 4-man elimination on their survivor side makes things tougher for the Hunter, especially. And Galaxy Iris is just trying to guarantee his downs as soon as possible, as guaranteed as possible. And that's why detention's relatively a good idea to run, especially since it's Hospital as well. Because it's not always easy to land all of the chain hits on Hospital because of all the terrain and buildings that the survivors can utilize to get around these bombs. So, nice portal right there, actually.
Beautiful portal. So that actually really came in clutch for this forward. Forward has used a lot of football in order to save the Seer earlier on. Sadly, was in vain as the Seer still went down to a remote bomb hit, and they couldn't have rescued. It was too risky to rescue there. It would mean that Cipher got slowed down even more. And now this Huntress is going to go back onto Priestess.
The second kite needs to be amazing, Daza, in order for them to pull back.
I mean, it is in the end a Bonbon, so there's still definitely an opportunity for them to get a survivor out of the gate. Getting a 4-man as Bonbon is really hard for the fact that Bonbon has a low base speed and he doesn't have much map pressure, which is why he brings a trait such as Teleport to make up for that low map pressure. But still,
right into that bomb, Daza. It's because he thought it would be a 5-second bomb. Galaxy Iris changing up his strategy right there. Caught Psyche off guard. Very very good move by Galaxy Iris right there.
Ooh, getting the bomb hit out of the shuffle there.
Shuffle, yep. It's gonna make things a lot more difficult here for the Gravekeeper because that shovel is his safe passage into hospital, but no longer does he have it. I would have dropped the pallet right there because it would force him to break it, but now he's gonna go right back onto the forward. Ciphers are looking like they're in a good position, so Arachna is in a strong position to tie against this bomb run. And that's really their goal here, Daza, because you saw they sold the Seer. They're not really going for like wins or anything. Good move by Fold right there, saying you have to respect my perfume option. Right there.
Yeah,
Very
indeed.
good.
I mean, like I said as well, and I saw someone ask in chat too why you don't bring Titan or Bonbon. They do not want to set themselves up for a win. They just need one man out of here in order to win this round. And how do you win against a Bonbon? Or not necessarily win. How do you survive against Bonbon? It's not by getting those rescues off and giving Titan. It's by getting good kites with getting some good distance.
Dying on the Gravekeeper. This is huge. As we can see here, the priest is paying that they have one passage, so it looks like the move probably is going to be to try to get right back into Birdcage, guaranteed, assuming this is a strong rescue. With Tide Turner for the Gravekeeper right here, it's going to change, because no rescues were made this round, so it's going to change the game. Wow, what a strict dodge right there. Strict space, very small space to dodge. Very good knowledge for the Gravekeeper right there to utilize to know that it's a 5-second bomb. Very risky too, because it could have been a 2-second. It could have been over for him, stuff. But Gravekeeper seems like he knew the Hunter's pattern right there. Very bold choice.
Great job from the Gravekeeper indeed. Good patience as well. Just really analyzing the movements of this Hunter. And pulling off that rescue.
On the Gravekeeper. That might be enough for the Cipher right there, though. Yeah, it's enough. That's funny. Did you just get demolished right there? It was so funny.
Yeah.
He just fell on the ground. Woo! What a chain bomb right there. Wow, what a chain bomb right there. Bring a pass down.
Beautiful job. Beautiful play.
You know what they're pushing. This might be a win for Galaxy Iris. Hopefully the survivors read this and get off the gate. But yeah, look, he knows exactly which gate they're pushing. So now all that's left to do is to teleport to that gate. And is that the forward getting it? He didn't know.
Did not get spotted out. I mean, they just need one survivor out of there, and they are in a position where they can do so. Forward being pretty smart. Just shooting that onto the chest, giving up a lot of distance. But what I wanted to say on this is that Forward doing great, sticking around middle, making it so that the Bonbon cannot leave the chair, giving Priestess enough time to open that gate and get out of there.
That's all he needed, a one-man. Exactly, Daza. You were very right about that. Very good insight by you, Daza. So yeah, that is a one-person escape, which is all Arachna really needed. Great job from Galaxy Iris, though. Showing that Bonbon is not only a tie hunter, but can very well get wins.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. This was really well played. It's a bit unfortunate, of course, for Galaxy Iris that this didn't result in a 4-man elimination, but you have to keep in mind, this is Bomba, like I said, does not have a lot of map pressure, has low base speed, so nothing like what a Breaking Wheel can pull off. So he can only work with what he's offered, which is those bombs. And considering this is Hospital, it's a survivor favorable map. Getting that 3-man elimination itself is already really impressive and it's really well played. So definitely props to Galaxy Iris for that. However, do have to give it to Arachna too. Really smart play, especially towards the end. Selling the Seer, realizing it's not worth it, and from there on just playing it patient. Patience is really important in this game because, Cipher Rush is incredibly strong. Cipher Rush is one of your strongest weapons. However, it's not always the best option to just mindlessly rush down these Cipher machines, as the Hunter can definitely take advantage of that too. He knows that you are gonna get onto these Ciphers and he will try to push you off. So if you do not keep your team in decent condition, you're just going to go down on that very last Cipher, which is something we've seen happen quite a few times. So they played it really well, they played it carefully, and they made they just set themselves up for that one person escape, especially with forward towards the end, sticking around middle, making it so that Bonbon could not leave, that Psyche could just open that gate and just get out of there, which is all they needed. Because they know, of course, that this hunter has teleport, so even if the hunter went to teleport to that gate, forward would have just gone to Gravekeeper, got that rescue off, and then go escape through the other gate. So it was really a choice for this hunter. Will I teleport to Priestess and get that Priestess down and possibly give the survivors a tie? Or will I just confirm a 3-man elimination and accept the fact that Priestess will escape through the gate?
It's a very tough spot for Galaxy Iris right there because he did play exceptionally well, but the survivors just knew their Cipher positioning and rotations and things, and their Cipher rush was very strong Cipher rush by Arachna right there. And it did, like you said, the forward strategy right there was to get a strong one man because that's all they really needed. So forward was the ticket to make sure the hunter has to force them on chair. Because if the hunter teleports when there's tinnitus around, like Dazzle said, they risk having the survivor rescue, and Bomba being a slow walking hunter cannot reach them by the time the gate will be open by then, giving them a tie. So it's really a pick your poison kind of thing, and Galaxy Iris decided to accept that the priest is going to get out and kill the forward as well.
Yeah, no, indeed. I do see some discussion in chat too. Keep in mind that Psyche, the priestess, was getting onto the gate fairly late, so it opened up fairly late. So you have to keep in mind, you are time limited because the Gravekeeper is on chair. You are very time limited. It does take some time to set up a super portal. So of course they could have tried to set themselves up for that. But they were in a very tough spot because if forward moved away just a bit too much, Tinnitus would have just gone off, and Hunter would have just teleported to the gate. And it's not something you want.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically what they did, I mean, of course, they could have gone for the draw. They could have very well gone for the draw, but it would have been a slight risk. The play they made here is pretty much the only play that secured a one-man escape. Like 100% certain one-man escape. And that's all they need. You can try and lengthen your lead, of course, which is nice going into a third round, but
they played it safe. They chose to play it safe. Round. Yeah. All right, Daz, I'm going to be right back. You okay with that? Don't touch that mouse, anyone. I will be right back.
Alright, I'll see you in a bit. It seemed like the character selection screen is going to be pulled up. I'm not sure if we want to wait until Mickey comes back. Anyhow, for now, I'll just be chilling here. Let me just scroll through chat just a little more. I mean, I do understand where you guys coming from. Because of course it's nice to have a head start in points. But you have to keep in mind, this goes by rounds, not by points. So in case Lost Cipher needs to win the next round. And that's the only time where points will matter. If they draw, the matchup goes to Arachna. So Lost Cipher is the one who is in a tight spot here, who needs to really work in order to make this work. And of course, there is definitely an opportunity for Lost Cipher to still turn this around because it's a slight point difference. But as what Arachna just went to do here, they said, I'm not gonna take any risks because Global Portal would have given away location, because Priestess was on that gate fairly late, you name it. Forward already took quite a risk opening the chest instead, giving the hunter some time to catch up. And I agree, there's definitely some plays that could have been made to make it so that at least the forward would have still gotten out of the gate. It's definitely definitely were opportunities. But I'll be honest, I did not actually see if the global portal was available for Priestess. Let me just check that real quick. If I can see that here, I don't know. Of course you cannot. That's a little unfortunate. Because, like, for all I know, the global portal wasn't even available.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, it does take 18 seconds to open the gate, but like I said, Priestess was on the gate late, and so you have to keep in mind was, I think, when the Gravekeeper was already on chair, it was barely halfway, so they really needed to kill some time there.
It's not the easiest thing to do, especially against like Bonbon, where he can sniff you out pretty easily with his bombs, finding out where you are.
You're really soft for me, Mickey. I do not know if
I was being really soft right there. I was being really quiet for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Oh, alright, I was just worried for a second.
I was being quiet for whatever reason.
You quiet? No way. No way.
Crying in the club. There's no way.
Music Man did not play yet. Also, you guys are way too sweet. Thank you for your support. I love all of you.
So kind, honestly. Quite possibly the best of the. This is the best part of the IDV community right here. I know we're given a bad rep, but like you got you guys. So you guys honestly make up like the great part of the IDV community.
Yeah, so honestly, I don't even know whatever. I mean, of course, there is some toxic parts. I'll be honest, like I've seen it too.
Yeah,
but
we gotta leave it honestly, yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, the amount of support, like I personally have gotten from all of you is absolutely insane and means the world to me. Like I do really want you to know that. It also goes for ICL, the amount of support. But yeah, just for me personally, it really means the world to me. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, it means the world to me too. Honestly, all of our commentators here at ICL just enjoy you guys just being here, supporting, and just like commentating on. Like I see a lot of like people who know their stuff in chat, and that's honestly really remarkable to see. And
definitely. It's really nice to see these debates coming up.
Yeah, you guys know your stuff, and you keep it respectful, and I love that. You show that debates don't have to get ugly and nasty, and I just appreciate the maturity and like the respect that mutual respect you guys for all these teams and all the players, and I just love it so much. It's just a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let me see. Are we? Oh, we are ready with the next map. Already saw a little bit. It's gonna be Moonlit River Park.
River Park.
Ooh, I'll be honest. I really like that map. It's not played a lot, but I think it's a really interesting map. For the fact that it's somewhat hunter-sided. It's a really big map. But it has really weak spots. Also has some really strong spots, and then there's the roller coaster that also can make for really interesting plays. Like I've seen some really cool stuff happen, especially in ICL last season. We've actually seen Legacy. I'm not sure if it was a 4-man even, but using that coaster to ensure their win actually. So Moonlit makes for some really awesome plays, and I'm really curious to see what these teams are gonna do with it.
Honestly, yeah, Moonlit is a very dexterable map for hunters and survivors alike. So it's going to be very interesting to see these choices that both sides make in terms of like map. For hunters, you got to consider map coverage, you have to consider size, you got to consider chase time, everything on Moonlit tenfold. Moonlit tenfold, definitely, because the map size already gives the survivors an advantage and at the same time a disadvantage. So it's honestly favors both sides. Moonlit is a map where it's fairly balanced. I'd say leaning maybe a little bit more towards Hunter because the open space.
Mm-hmm.
But both sides have potential to play incredibly for Moonlit.
Yeah. Also, I see someone asking what map got banned. I actually don't know because I cannot read the logs with the bans and the picks during the stream. So my apologies for that. Maybe I will try and make something to the stream where you can actually see it. But for the character bans, we're gonna see, and this is really interesting. We're gonna see forward ban. They do not want a forward in there changing that game flow, which honestly is really fair. I'll be honest, that's fair. Also, Seer and Mechanic. We also see Dreamwitch and a Sculptor ban. Very
Dazza, we
meta.
got word that Arms Factory was banned. Arms Factory was banned, Dazza, for those who want to know.
Arms Factory. That's fair. Arms Factory, typically a Thai type of map. Really balanced, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Arms Factory is definitely a good map to ban, especially because Survivor side. The factory is so strong. Factory is like a baby hospital. It's hospital's little cousin. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. But yeah. Oh, where can I see what teams actually playing Survivor first? Oh, it's Arachna. So honestly, like you said, Arachna has really good forward, so it's really fair to just go ahead and ban that forward. You do not want Foodinator to change the tide of the game. So that's totally fair. I'll be honest about that.
Banning forward, yeah, definitely, because you don't want them to have a game change rebound like redemption. If the hunter has a strong lead, forward can just turn that lead into the survivor's advantage. That's why forward.
Gravekeeper ban.
Great.
Yeah, I am kind of looking at this. I would say this is going to be a breaking wheel.
Will Gravekeeper ban? Definitely will has to.
Yeah, be. I mean Mechanic. Wheel can get Cipher rushed. It's a snowball hunter, but if he does not get the time to snowball, which Mechanic is really good at with that Cipher rush, the hunter would automatically settle for a draw instead of a win. Forward, good counter to breaking wheel. Seer, amazing counter to breaking wheel. Gravekeeper, don't even need to explain because he hard counters breaking.
You're right. You always everything all them counter breaking wheel.
And I mean, at the same time, you have to keep in mind, since the mercenary and the priestess, they are being locked in, but these characters are not necessarily really good against breaking wheel mercenary. Of course, as elbow pad, so he can kite once the hunter's out of wheel form. Same kind of goes for priestess, but once the hunter's in wheel form, these two characters are really weak.
Yeah, wheel form turns their like bread and butter kiting abilities into just like smooth and warmed up microwave butter. And here's the thing though, priestess with the elevation Dazza, those elevation portals like from 2-story, from second stop, third stop, those are very strong portals though against wheel.
I also see someone, by the way, saying Blood Queen is also don't like Gravekeeper. I don't think this is gonna be a Blood Queen for the fact that Blood Queen is a typical Thai hunter and Arachna cannot afford Lost Cipher to get more than one survivor out of there, and generally Breaking Wheel is a little better at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off. Go continue your story. I
cut you off before too. It's only fair. Go on. I cut you off before too, Dazza. It's okay. Go on.
I mean, it kind of is bound to happen sometimes. You cut each other off, but yeah. We are gonna see an embalmer.
No way.
I mean, honestly, against Breaking Wheel, like we said, it's hard to get away from a Breaking Wheel chair. So if you have an embalmer with a coffin, especially on a big map like Moonlit, of course the hunter can still speed over. It's not foolproof, but you know, I can see it happen.
I don't know how I feel about Wildling being against Wheel. Wheel counters Wildling when he gets first presence.
Yeah, no, Wildling is gonna be really hard to pull off.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be very difficult. But yes, it is indeed Pit Stopper's wheel. And we know that Pit Stopper's notorious for being very, very versatile in his hunter selections. He plays almost every top meta hunter, and he does so very, very efficiently. So this is going to be a very fun match to watch, definitely.
Oh yeah,
Vertical
I mean, I'm
Beyblade.
always down for a breaking wheel match.
Yeah, exactly. People are saying they're tired of Breaking Wheel, but guys, after seeing Dream Witch for like years, I've just seen Dream Witch and Sculptor for so much. Wheel's refreshing. I don't even care if I see a lot of Wheel. If Wheel's the new meta, I don't even care, honestly.
Alright, just 1 second, because I'll be honest, chat has me dead. So Malcolm was saying that he was really feeling a Blood Queen, which is fair. But then Joanna here says, damn, Blood Queen suddenly got less hot. That's funny. That's great.
Forgot to put her makeup on.
She forgot to put her makeup on. Yeah, no, definitely. You guys, chat, you guys are great. You guys are great. I am loving the energy in the chat.
So funny. You guys are comical, like class clowns. You know, Dazzle, like chat is pointing out that Perf would be better pick here. Batter might be even as well, be better pick here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Legacy. Sorry, my bad. We saw.
I mean, maybe they weren't entirely sure that the hunter was. I mean, it's Pit Stopper, so he could go anything, like you said. He's really first style hunter, so maybe they were kind of scared if they would go with something like that. That Pit Stoppers would actually pull out something else. Could be. So that's maybe why they decided to go with Wildling, regardless, trying to basically settle themselves with a team comp that can work around any hunter, but it's definitely a risk, and there definitely is better choices against Breaking Wheel. But they were probably just not sure that they would actually face Breaking Wheel, and they didn't want to go a hard counter comp against him, because Pit Stopper's gonna just go something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, just want the Wildling first.
Ooh, that's gonna be a tough chase. Without first presence, he does not counter Wildling. Like I said, he only counters Wildling with first presence.
Yeah, so this is not a great start actually for Pit. Does get those spikes on really quickly, but he can just hop into his board, which is exactly what he's gonna do.
Here we go. Yep. He's gonna get hit.
Ooh.
Pit Stopper's chasing this Wildling and down.
Wow. What a quick down.
Oh man, you know what this means, Dazzle? The wheel has a strong start. Like we said, when wheel gets a strong start, it's very hard to rebound on him. He can snowball. He can stop Cipher Rush. He has map pressure. He's just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be problematic for the survivors right here. Great start from last Cipher right here. Good down from Pit Stoppers. Let's see what survivors can do here to try their best and secure a maybe time. Yeah.
So Mercenary is gonna make his way over, has to use 2 elbow pads. Not ideal, you don't really wanna use too many elbow pads, of course, but...
Not to mention the after half rescue.
Ooh, misses the blink.
Misses the blink.
Does get double hit on Mercenary, so it's not too bad. Double hit is always nice to pull off. Does mean that something's gonna hop onto board, and it does give an opportunity, but not too much. I'll be honest. The Hunter's already full presence. 4 Ciphers remaining. This is not looking great for the survivors.
Yeah, definitely not. Arachna's Wildling here is fighting for dear life against this vertical Beyblade, as somebody referred to in chat. Very funny, by the way. And Oreo of Death is another one I think of. Wow, good job,
Wildling hopping out of range.
Wow, really good. Trap getting stuck. Wildling's gonna kite for pretty long.
Wildling is doing an amazing rebound with that board. However, it is gonna run out.
Like so, like you said, that.
And now he's stuck in this area. There's nothing this Wildling can do. He's just gonna die in a corner, but he's still gonna die. They did get some progress on. Mercenary is fully healed. They have a Cipher that's halfway. They have another Cipher that has a bit of progress onto it. So after this, they need one entirely new Cipher. Yeah, it's not looking great once again. The survivors are really in a rough spot because Priestess is gonna get chased here, so that leaves the Mercenary and the Bomber to basically decode 2 entire ciphers, 200%.
What a beautiful trap by Pitt right there. Throwing it right on top of the slide, blocking off that option, making sure that he can't get off the slide. Say, if you're going to try to use the slide, I'm going to throw a trap, and I'm going to cut off your route. Dying on Foodinator's Cipher. This is huge for Pitt right here. Pitt can definitely make huge.
Yeah, especially because Mercenary, this was Mercenary's first cipher. He had to already get off because of that wildling. And now he's forced off once again, so Mercenary just cannot finish that one cipher.
Free rescue from Merc because, fortunately, Pit Stoppers got stuck on the tent. I felt that, and emotionally speaking. And I just, wheel things. Sometimes it just gets stuck. And wow, what a trap.
Beautiful play once again, getting that trap right onto the Mercenary, narrows the down. Just gonna go back and share this survivor. I mean, he is close to that cipher. If he can just go ahead and protect the cipher for a bit, it will slow down Cipher Rush even more. So, definitely puts Bitstoppers in a really good position.
Do you think you understand why there's a embalmer on this team? I don't know why, because personally, I'm.
I mean, I think it might have to do with the fact that it's really hard to get away from a breaking wheelchair. So they might have wanted to give themselves like an option with that coffin to get some good distance on the hunter so that he cannot immediately get those spikes on once the survivor gets off chair. Basically giving themselves somewhat of an opportunity for rebound kite. Is still gonna be really hard, and Balmer's not really considered a hard counter against breaking wheel, but I would say that might have been the play they were going for.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, strong starts from wheels are very hard to come back from. As you can see, Pitt has this game in his fingertips, in his fingernails, and it's just definitely it's all downhill.
Bitstoppers once again, beautiful stuff here.
Amazing.
Forcing the embalmer to use his coffin, use the rebirth, having to let the mercenary go, and from here, it's a confirmed win for Bitstoppers.
Yeah. Oh, Ram has a good point. I mean, Joanna has a good point. It looks like the team comp expected BQ, but they were surprised at wheel. But Tyrone did tell me last week that they get to know what hunter it is before they make their choices. So, knowing it's wheel, I don't know why Wildling.
No, I think they might have meant that they know so before the game starts. So the hunter locks in after the survivors. So I think that's the case. Yeah, I think they kind of tried to set themselves up for the fact that Bitstoppers is really versatile in his choices, and they didn't really want to go with something else because if they were expecting a Blood Queen, a Perfumer would still have been a good choice. Perfumer is against both Wheel and Blood Queen, so I wouldn't necessarily say that they were really expecting a Blood Queen. They were kind of considering it as an option, but that goes for a lot of hunters. And Wildling is a good survivor to clutch up dungeon. So maybe for that reason they were like, we're just gonna throw a Wildling in. Could be the case.
Maybe they wanted Wildling as a character that like they wanted the hunter to not chase, but Pitt making a very bold choice to chase the Wildling, but it paid off for him. Definitely paid off for him. Daza, if last Cipher gets a 4-person elimination, what happens with this score?
If last Cipher gets a 4-man elimination, that means that Arachna wins.
Arachna wins still?
Yeah, because they are ahead 1 round.
Wow, but Pitt's here playing his best still, making just the play of the games, and Pitt's just showing that he, no matter how bleak the situation, he's gonna try his best, and it's admirable to see.
Oh wait, basically I was wrong on that. If Pitt gets a 4-man and the Lost Cipher survivors get 2 people out of there, then Lost Cipher would win. Yeah.
Oh.
So the survivors need a draw.
Yeah, survivors. Oh wow. Yeah, so last Cipher can pull this back. Basically, is what you're trying to say. If Pitt gets a 4-man, right? Oh, okay.
It seems like they confirming. that they were expecting a bonbon,
A bond.
which is fair. I mean, at the same time,
You have to be ready for anything. Honestly, if ICL or any tournament games teach you anything, you gotta be ready for anything.
not sure what is going on there. Probably, I mean, Priestess is on dungeon, so that's why they don't surrender. It seems like Pit is kind of assuming that they would, or he's just.
Is he just giving us a world tour Moonlit?
But we're getting a nice tour through Moonlit, I guess.
Yeah, here you see Fort Stop. If you look on your right, you see the lockers, and you got. If you look on your left, you turn your turn signal. You can go into the tent right there. Make sure you hit no pedestrians. And then we're going into 2-story, and we're rolling. And we got on our left a very strong kiting area. It's referred to as God Kite here. And we're moving over to first stop now. And what is Pitt doing? He's just giving us a world tour. I don't know. Gaza, I don't know what to say about that. I've never seen this in any kind of like tournament game.
No, I'm not really sure. I think it might have just downright lost them.
You think so?
I'm not. I'm not sure.
They're for 100 to lose their target, though. Snap.
Yeah. There is the snap. And of course, the Balmer cannot pick himself up.
Yeah.
It is so cute when he does weird things.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, found the book. This is gonna be it. Oh, what a nice portal.
Ooh.
Struggling to get in that portal right there, giving Priestess time to get to these 2 balance.
I mean,
It's Embalmer something.
Embalmer is on the dungeon, so he needs to down this, or he needs to chair the Embalmer before he chairs the Priestess.
Right there, good coverage from he's not even gonna chair, he's just gonna pick him up.
Yeah, no. He has to pick up the Embalmer first. But it seems like the Embalmer was acknowledging that he was not gonna get that dungeon, so and he's too close to bleeding out. There's nothing he can really do, and this is a 4-man elimination for last Cipher right here.
Just kinda chilling with them. You know, Daz, how do I commentate on the gameplay we saw, like, Pitt did right here, where he was just driving through Moonlit? How do I commentate on that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Like, we just
Psyche bleeding out, though.
Oh, bled out Psyche. That's unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate.
4-man elimination by Pit Stop is beautiful job from both sides.
They really tried. You have to give it to them. They really tried to get that 1-man out of there, but still, Arachna is in the lead. But with this 4-man elimination, a draw is all the survivors need. If they get 1-man out of there, we'll go into a 4th round.
Round 4,
which I cannot hope because Refi is saying that he needs to sleep, and I'll be honest, I kind of need it too.
Is it late for you right now, Daza?
It's 11:30 p.m. and I've been up since 7 trying to work on what you guys are seeing here for the stream, and there's still more coming up. I can tell you that. But yeah, I have to work on that too. So which I did this morning. Because like outside of this, I also have a job and family. So, yeah, I spent my time doing that, and I'm a little bit tired. So if I fall asleep on stream, which I actually don't think happens, because Mickey, you have great energy. So gotta give it to you for that one.
I gotta give it to you for staying up this late and being able to still keep up with the commentating and everything. I gotta give it to you there. That's impressive, Dazzle. That on itself is impressive. Give yourself.
Thank you. It's called coffee.
Coffee. Oh, yes.
Coffee.
I definitely was very confused when it came to the world tour. I was like, the
Yeah.
action is so good, and then I was like, World Tour, and I was like, yes, this palette is made of palette.
Jogi's saying if Arachna died against Bomba last game, Dreamer would have such an easier time. I
It's up
agree.
to Dreamer now.
Also, Boblums is with Lost Cipher. I don't think it's actually Boblums playing from what I heard. But I'm not 100% sure on that because Boblums is actually on Team Tickle. It's actually playing for Team Tickle and not for Lost Cipher. As far as I know, at least. So I think it's someone else playing on Paul's account.
Very well possible. I think it's that's Cipher. I don't know. I don't know who it could be. But this account sharing, NAE is popular for it. Like, who doesn't go up to their friends like, "Hey, can I get your account? You know, they got skins you want to play."
I mean, sometimes you just gotta get those skins.
Exactly, they have such nice skins.
You just gotta get those skins.
They have such nice ass skins, and you're just like, bro, I'm jelly. I would go to sleep after Arachna versus Last Cipher. Yes, Team Tickle versus Legacy is gonna take a while to get out, guys, because this might go in round 4.
Oh wait, right? I see. Oh, I did not even notice it. The account, it's not Boblums, it's called Polablums.
Oh my god, it's what, Mutter?
I did not even notice.
I forgot what Mutter changed name to Polablums.
So we're getting Polablums now, and then in a bit, we are getting Boblums. So it's a battle of the poles. You could say that.
The battle of the poles.
Battle of the poles.
Yes, ma'am. Food Nader, thank you for clarifying that. Thanks, Food. That was funny. Battle of the poles.
Are we actually ready for the final? I mean, hopefully final round. I'll be honest, I can never get enough of matchups. Definitely not. But at the same time, we do have to get going on the next matchups too. So it would be nice if we don't go into a 4th round. Also, Warden, if you are watching, I am sorry for ignoring your invites. I'm not really paying attention to the game. So I'm sorry.
Warden,
genuinely sorry.
Warden, we love you. It's
ignoring you. I still love you, Warden. You're doing a whole lot. Since I'm talking about it now anyway, all of you guys give some love to Warden. Warden has been our referee from season 1 on, is doing a whole lot of work to keep this thing going, keep all the matches fair, giving his unbiased opinion on these matches if anything happens or so. Also the one who made the ban bot in the Discord server, so Warden is doing a whole lot for ICL behind the screen. So definitely give some love to Warden here in the chat or in the Discord server if you see him around, because he definitely deserves that.
Yeah, for real. Like, I definitely agree. Warden, you're not loved enough. You're not mentioned enough. And honestly, I'm your biggest fan, Warden.
No, that's me.
No.
You want to fight me on that one?
Yes, I'm gonna fight you on this one. That's the Denny's parking lot right now.
Right, keeping a side eye on these bans.
Let's see.
Yeah, alright, we're gonna get them in. So we are gonna see Seer Mechanic forward and then Breaking Rule and Dream Witch. So on the Survivor side, same bans as last round, the round before this. So yeah, we already went through that, and then for Breaking Wheel, which is fair, we've seen Dreaming dominate with that Breaking Wheel. And then for Dream Witch, also really fair. Moonlight is a fairly big map, so you wouldn't necessarily think it's a good map for Dream Witch. However, the issue with Moonlight is that it's it's divided in two parts with the bridge, and for that reason, if Dream Witch gets control over one side of the map, it means that the survivors can likely 3-ciphers themselves because they have to eventually decode the cipher on the other side of the map, and once Dream Witch has control of it, it's really hard to get in between because one half in itself isn't too big, and Dream Witch can apply a lot of pressure on that, and for that reason, Dream Witch can still be utilized on Moonlight.
Absolutely. We can see, because although survivors know exactly where she's coming from with just having that location, because it's so open and there's nothing for her to hide behind, it's still, like you said, Dream Witch is still pretty strong here. She can control the map. And is that an M Palmer, man?
Also, Joanna, thank you so much for your donation. It's really much appreciated.
John, thank you. Love you.
I would rather ban Sculptor than Dream Witch. I agree on that one, for the fact that Sculptor's Chisel can be really strong on Moonlit. We've seen some great plays for that, and some would argue, and I actually kinda, sorta have to agree, that Sculptor may be the better hunter over Dream Witch. Dream Witch has a lot of map pressure, but people have been kind of figuring their way around Dream Witch, especially post-nerf. We've seen a lot of Dream Witches used to be the first round hunter, but yeah, good teamwork makes a dream work, and it doesn't work for Dream Witch. It actually doesn't make the dream work. It makes the dream not really work out for Dream Witch. So yeah, there's that. In that light, Sculptor, you can of course decide to sell against Sculptor and settle yourself for draw, whereas Dream Witch would be able to still get a win because she overall has more map pressure. But the issue with Sculptor is she has that chisel, so she is still able to push survivors potentially off of their Cipher machines. And with that as well, you kind of get a situation where you are kind of forced to move around the map, which does waste a lot of time, which of course always works into the hunter's favor. If no one's decoding, it just works into the hunter's favor. And with that, buying that little bit of time while someone is already on chair, it makes it really tricky to just go ahead and sell. It's still possible. You can still very well get a draw out of it. It's definitely possible to tie against Sculptor. However, Sculptor does have a lot of win potential with that chisel, and then the full presence is just basically the cherry on top.
Yeah, and a very deadly cherry on top at that.
Yeah, definitely. You can say that. We're going to see a banner coming in, though. That's really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we saw last Cipher pull off something with Painter last time around. Do you remember when they kited the Soul Weaver, Alien Soul Weaver, very long time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely don't count out Painter. Painter has been shifting.
But it is gonna be a Sculptor, so that's gonna be really rough. That's gonna be really rough.
Ento is a good, I say relatively good pick against Sculptor if she's in open space, but the minute she flies into like a cornered area, like fourth stop or something behind fourth stop, it becomes tough for her because Sculptor has so much leeway right there and so many options for her statues to land. Mm-hmm. And so Entomologist is going to need to guide her insects very carefully and kite in specific areas because, like I said, the stops are not it against Sculptor. There's just too much closed space for Sculptor to work with.
If Lost Cipher gets 2 out, they win. Yeah, that's true. If they get 2 survivors out of there, they win. If they get 1 survivor out of there, they draw, and there will be a 4th round. And if this results in a 4-man, this matchup will go to Arachna.
So this is the game where it determines it all.
Yeah, no, this is definitely an all or nothing. And like I said, a draw, it's very possible against Sculptor. You have to play really smart, and that first kite has to be good. You have to be able to dodge those statues while they are not at full presence just yet. You just don't want to feed the sculptor. Just kind of comes down to that.
All right, here we go. Getting into round 3, second half. We have on the Hunter side a Sculptor, and on the Survivor side, very unorthodox team. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. Spawn is bridge in front of 2 stories. There will be 1 survivor in front, and all the survivors to the left of the Sculptor. This is a Hunter favorite spawn because not only do you have a guaranteed survivor on the other side of 2 story, you also have bridge where you can see where your options are. So for Hunter, it's very easy to see where their targets are. And this is going to make things a lot easier for them. Finds the Ento. Ento's a pretty tough chase for Sculptor, given all this distance. But look at that. Look at that respect right there from the Ento. Beautiful job. Knowing that the Sculptor might plant there to cut off their route. Dreamer's throwing these blind statues a little hasty. I'd say it's a better idea for a Sculptor to guarantee that her statues will hit.
Ooh, that was a beautiful statue.
Yes, beautiful statue. A Dreamer right there. Because, basically what happened right there, she knew that Ento would have to vault that. There's nowhere else she can go, really. And that was really good acknowledgement. Ooh, hit on the
really
inside.
well played from Dreamer, just acknowledging the fold. Of course, Entomologist could have still tried to kind of predict it as well, double back. Beautiful statue! Out though.
That's a fast down. That's a pretty fast down, Dazzle. They can decide to sell because, you know, they're going for a tie, right, Dazzle? So maybe a sell will be in order here, but looks like Mercenaries exposing.
Already Cindy, oh.
Exposing.
That's interesting. So, yeah. Tries to hide, but tracks do kind of give away the location, however. Sculptor's just gonna go ahead and spike that Cipher. Overshoots it a little bit, but it does still push the Survivor off of the Cipher machine.
It's really hard to land statues whenever you're not full presence with the chisel because survivors know what pattern they're going to be coming from. So it's going to be easy for them, relatively easy for them to dodge it. But Dreamer knows where Mercenary is, so you definitely can make this work. Force an afterhalf, maybe since the Mercenary's real close by. Watching the chair very carefully. Merc, do you think that somehow Dreamer did not see the Merc hiding?
I mean, I kind of think he would, but I think that he acknowledges that the Mercenary is just trying to stall here, and for that reason he's just gonna continue and push these survivors off their Cipher machines.
There's the down.
Does not body block for the Entomologist here, acknowledging it's an open chair, so even if he body blocks it would just give the Sculptor an extra hit. There's not really a lot of rebound potential.
Can the Sculptor get full presence off of this Ento? I think they just got it.
Yeah, no, they did.
Oh man, this is gonna be tough.
Really dangerous. So Entomologist is out of the game. They have to start a completely new Cipher machine after this.
Yeah, Dazza, right here, the goal of rescuing Ento once is to make sure she doesn't get full presence. So now that rescue was essentially meaningless by last Cipher right here. Because now, having that full presence, we're going to see Sculptor does her thing. She shreds them, whittles them down bit by bit, no matter how strong survivors are. But we see a Painter. Painter is actually relatively good against Sculptor because it gets that distance away. It throws out a painting, it gets all that distance. And distance is the key for Sculptor. You never want to give that physical hit, especially not during full presence. And let me see what Painter can do. Gives a free hit. This is huge.
There is the full presence. So now have at full presence. This is gonna be a bit tricky for Painter to deal with because of those full presence statues, but still pulling that first painting off.
Yeah, exactly. The painting is going off. The pacing is in favor of, I'd say, Dreamer. But the survivors do look like they have their ciphers almost ready too. I saw.
Yeah, no, it's still anyone's game, kinda. Anything can still happen. Because the tie turner is out of the game for Mercenary. So if they can stuff the rescue, that would be huge. But then again, it's a Mercenary.
I think last Cipher is gonna
stuff, and they're just gonna go ahead and pop the Cipher, acknowledging we just need a draw here.
Yeah, that was very. I think that Cipher's gonna take this. This is a strong draw scenario right here. No detention to down their target really quickly, and not having that ability is gonna make it a lot harder to reach gate in time. for.
Yeah, I do have to say it's really interesting to see that Dreamer's actually not going with the tension here. Because it is somewhat of a risk. There is no rebound potential at the end. Painter doing a beautiful job with that painting at the leaving that painting for the end game.
And it looks like Last Cipher is going to take this and win in the bag. Take the.
They indeed just took it. Beautiful job from Last Cipher, taking this matchup when it mattered most, especially against the Sculptor.
A Sculptor is a very difficult survivor to do these kind of plays against, but Last Cipher's Cipher Rush was amazing, honestly.
Yeah,
and it was
you
really
have
down to their Last Cipher.
for progression too, because the mercenary was staying around the chair, and Dreamer actually used that time to spike the ciphers and push the survivors off just a bit, but it still wasn't enough for Dreamer here to get a win out of this matchup, and thus with this draw, it means Lost Cipher is gonna go ahead and win this matchup. What a turn of events!
Daza, I'm going to point out right here a move that could have been done from Dreamer. Seeing the Merc that early, I would have just attacked them. If you attack that Merc, you're going to force them rescue not only early, but you're going to get damage on them, and you're going to get your Ento down, and that's not going to give the survivors time to decode because they're too focused on rescuing. He saw Merc. He knew where Merc was early. Could have statued very easily. Could have attacked them, rushed them, make a fast save. Even though it's not after half, chairing that Ento again would be almost instantaneous afterward. But giving that Merc all the time for that team to decode was the downfall of the Sculptor right there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because, like I said, of course, he did disrupt Cipher progression a bit, especially Mercenary wasting some time not decoding, but at the same time, because, like you said, Mercenary just played it well, just went in for the save, didn't take any hits, acknowledging that the Entomologist was not really going to rebound and you do not want to feed the Sculptor. And from there on, Painter doing a great job kiting as well. Taking a hit, just a regular hit, getting the painting off, and from there on, just kiting it out until the Cipher was able to pop, which they immediately did because of the fact they need a draw. That's all they need. They need a draw, and with the Painter being chased down still, that's exactly what they could get.
Yeah, exactly. And great job from both sides. Last Cipher is going to take this in the bag. So Last Cipher is going to secure their spot in the semis, or
not yet. I mean, we still have 2 more weeks to go. So anything can still happen, but this does mean that Lost Cipher, I think, moves up a bit score-wise, so that does give them a good shot to still get that 3rd slot and make it into the playoffs. So Lost Cipher is setting themselves up for a potential playoff opportunity.
Because, yes, so those asking, Last Cipher did indeed take that. All they needed was a tie, and Last Cipher would take that in the bag. And that is exactly what we saw happen right there. Great job from both sides. Yeah, so like I said, these redemption brackets that are always so fun to watch. You saw just how important these were. And
I do have to say it. I love seeing teams turn it around when it matters most, which is exactly what Lost Cipher did. They were behind on Arachna with that 2nd round going to Arachna. Wasn't a huge difference, so they did have a good shot at actually turning it around. And like Joggy pointed out as well, in case Arachna would have gone for a draw rather than a 1-man escape, it would have been easier for Dreamer, and Dreamer would have actually tied this matchup if he did so. But that's sadly not what happened, and therefore this matchup will go to Lost Cipher. However, like I said, we still have 2 more weeks to go. Anything can still happen, but this does put Lost Cipher in a better spot division-wise.
For those saying they're confused who won Survivor's team from last match or Hunter, Hunter did indeed. From the last match, Survivors took the win for their team. which is last Cipher. For those who are confused.
Does Arachna even have a chance to come back? I'll be honest, I am not too sure. You will have to ask either Eli or Warden to confirm that, because I haven't been keeping as much track of the scores.
Yeah, when it comes okay guys, for me, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to everything. For commentating, my strength is filler, insightful commentary, and all that stuff. When it comes to statistics, points, and team victory counting and stuff, that's where I'm weak at. So it takes guts to admit things like that, but it's the truth. Everyone has their weaknesses. For me, it's like statistics, points, and stuff like that. That's what Eli excels at, though. Eli is great.
Usually I try to kind of keep track of it. I'll be honest, I usually try to keep track of scores and such.
I try to, but it's so hard.
It's like I said, I'm a little tired, and I cannot really run the numbers right now. Especially because commentating is a little distracting, I'll be honest. It is quite distracting, but I'm having fun hanging out with Mickey, watching amazing matches, and then chat being here too. So I'm not complaining.
I'm having fun too, Dazzy. You're honestly just ideal commentating partner. We always work so well together.
Aw, thank you. I mean, I have a lot of fun with you too, and I'm really glad you joined us for this season.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that you guys were reaching out and just giving me the opportunity. That definitely set the score. Thanks guys. I couldn't be happier. More happy about this.
And we are really happy to have you too. And I know the same goes for chat. I've seen a lot of Mickey fans in there. So all of you better hype up Mickey a little bit more, because this guy deserves it. He's been working really hard as a commentator for the league.
I mean, everyone does their part. It's just what makes this commentating on ICL just so great. Everyone's got their own talents, and everyone's so good at certain areas. It's amazing overall. Just wow, I love being here.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, for now, we are just gonna switch up the teams. So we are waiting for Team Tickle and let me see, Legacy to take their spots. Gonna do the coin toss. Is Cameron gonna play? No, All For One is not on the roster.
I'm sad about that, honestly.
Yeah, it would have been really fun to see him pull out his wheel again.
All For One is nasty with that wheel, man. And we saw him play. We saw him also play round 1 Feaster, and showing that even with Feaster, he could show off some power. He did a power. I remember this one tournament, he pulled out Feaster first round, and I was like, Feaster? And I saw that.
I remember that. That was insane. That was, and he 4-man too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can also remember, for those who've been watching last season too, Billy, who is on the roster, actually played Mad Eyes on 4-man. On Sacred Heart. It was also a really good match.
Yeah, Legacy pulls out these unorthodox strategies for the Hunters, and it just works out so well for them. I love it.
Yeah, no, and then there's, of course, Alien. Everyone knows Alien.
It's Alien, yeah, everyone knows Alien.
Yeah, and then, like I said, at the same time, Team Tickle also having some really big names in there. Especially they got Problems from
John.
Before You. Who doesn't know Problems? The same goes for John. John, who was on Potatoes. A team that sadly isn't around anymore, which I think is a shame, because I thought Potatoes was an amazing team and a lot of fun too.
Potatoes was a solid team, Daz. I definitely agree there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. But yeah, sadly, yo, what the heck? Cameron played me.
Abby said, yo, Cameron.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but All For One is not on the roster for today.
It's very sad. It's a crying in the club.
They better have Feeling play Mad Eyes to make up for that.
Yeah, honestly, we better see some crazy unorthodox strategies pulled up by Pilly. I just want to see it all.
I mean, I'm betting that Billy is gonna pull out something like a Dream Witch, maybe first round. Because Billy's Dream Witch is insane. He's really good. But a Mad Eyes would be great. I'll be honest. Oh, I think the character selection is off. Yeah, there we go. Team Tickle versus Legacy. I am so excited for this matchup. The number 1 and 2 currently in a division facing off against each other. Two really strong teams with some really big names. And we're gonna go into Sacred Heart Hospital.
This is a very strong Survivor map, Dazza. If Survivors can get a strong lead here for their team, it's going to make things a lot easier on their Hunter. Because Sacred Heart Hospital, as good as it is for Survivor, it's very tough on Hunter.
And we're going to go in with a Mercenary ban.
Solid pick, because Mercenary is guaranteed insurance. Rescue is an insurance character. Because rescues are made easy for Mercenary. It makes things a lot easier for the Survivors. And Hunters want to add that extra pressure, like whether or not the rescue will go off or not.
So, yeah, we're gonna go in with the Mechanic, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be Priestess or Forward, since both are selected.
It's a Forward with Horn.
Imagine Priestess being morphed with Forward. That would be pain.
That would be terrifying, judging from what I'm seeing right now. It's a Minotaur.
Oh, please no! Have mercy. Like, Forward and Priestess are already as bad enough as it is. Imagine a hybrid of that. I would not want to deal with that.
I would not either.
They're gonna go ahead bent Seer. So since it's Seer bent, I would kind of lean towards a Dream Witch pick. They're gonna go with Priestess and Prisoner, double decoding, Forward, and Priestess for that support, especially around Hospital. Very solid pick, I would say, especially with that Cipher Rush. But yeah, with the Mercenary and the Seer bend, I'm kind of tempted to lean against Dream Witch. Could of course still be something else. Could very well, for example, still be Sculptor, but I don't know. Typically, I feel like with a mercenary being able to work his way around the leech, making sure he does not take an early hit, and then Seer tanking a leech hit as well, which can be really big and can really hurt Dream Witch. So that's why I'm kind of tempted to lean towards Dream Witch being picked here, but at the same time, could also very well be Sculptor.
Yeah, these two on this map, the Hunter has a very easy pick on what he could play on round 1, because Hospital for the meta Hunters, it's just like any other map, honestly. The Hunter plays it very well enough. Like I said, choices are huge on Hospital. Your choices will reflect how your game goes on Hospital. We saw from Tyrone, we saw from Galaxy Iris, we saw from, like, long ago, we saw from All For One. It's just all about your choices, and they matter tenfold on Hospital, for sure.
So we're just gonna wait around for a bit, see what this Hunter's actually gonna pick.
What do you think it is?
Juggy said, this is a really good comp against Dream Witch. We've already explained it basically the last round because we had a similar team comp on that one too. They're actually gonna go for Sculptor. I would say Sculptor is definitely the better pick in Sacred Heart. I'm really curious to see what they're gonna pull out in this case though.
Yeah, because Sculptor is definitely a safer play because she has a lot of areas where she could trap the survivors at and get these this mean damage with these statues. And yeah, that's definitely how it goes with Sculptor. Sculptor, it needs no introduction when it comes to Sacred Hospital on why she's a solid pick. Amazing fight to counter Legacy. Which team is surviving first, Asa?
Let me see if I can.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, I just got confirmation from an anonymous source that Legacy is the survivor team. as we can see here.
Very anonymous.
Very, very anonymous. Totally not a voice from the ICL staff.
Definitely not.
Yeah, 100%. We got John Zhao coming out here hunting today. I know John is notorious for running Peeper Sculptor, and it works for him, honestly. It's a very unorthodox strategy, but John will make it work, cutting off these loops, blocking off these routes, making it easier for him to get these kills. John is goofy. Look at them. Look, do you see what's going on, Dazzle? They're being goofy.
Well, they're not letting Refi go to sleep early with this. That's for sure.
Yeah, Refi, you're gonna be up for a while, my man. Shout out to those staying up in other countries other than America. Shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing for putting up with these time zones and just staying up for ICL. Just all your commitment to it just makes it so easy.
For Team Tickle, it all depends on the first round. I mean, yes and no, I would say. Because we do know that Legacy has a very strong Hunter lineup. I'll be honest, I think Legacy has one of the strongest Hunter lineups in the entire league, having Philly, great Dream Witch, great Mad Eyes too, apparently. And then there's Alien, who is
too, right?
very skilled at Sculptor. We also have Alien playing, and Disciple is actually not a hunter we've seen a lot, but still fairly strong. We've also seen Alien pull out Blood Queen and being very successful doing so. And then, of course, there is All For One, who plays a lot of non-meta hunters. Does play Wheel too, but also Feaster, Ripper. So makes for a great third-round hunter, which, yeah, definitely puts Legacy at an advantage, as you cannot really target ban against them unless you know what you're gonna face. But since they can switch out players halfway through the matchup, they can basically custom themselves to that. As for Team Tickle, they also have some really strong players, but I would say that they are especially strong more so on the survivor aspect rather than the hunter aspect. So that's definitely gonna make for really interesting matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Sculptor here is very powerful. The team is the anti-Dream Witch team. So interesting to see how it's going to go against Sculptor. Just because it's strong against Dream Witch does not mean it's guaranteed to be a powerful choice against Sculptor. But Daz, how do you think it's going to go? Because honestly, I don't know that anything can happen. Spawns are also a huge, huge influence on whether or not these games go smoothly or not for each side. So we're gonna have to see how this all goes out. Both sides have equally a chance at winning. Per usual.
Also, Mel, thank you for the donation. Eli Meow for chat. I don't think he will do so in the ICL. You'll have to go to his streams for that. I'm sorry.
He's not gonna do that. But anyway, Hunter got a statue spawn, noticing that survivors will spawn to the left of them. So he turns left and he goes into ruins. Got that tinnitus, but they're rotating very.
Mechanic is gonna be the first target.
And John already knows where the bot is. Did you see how he pinpointed where the bot was with that statue?
Beautiful early game from John. We're getting that statue onto the priestess, or on the mechanic. Indeed, finding that bot as well. Mechanic is trying her best to kite away from that bot, but only one chip hit away, so there's only so much that she can do here. And he's getting cut off right before that portal too.
He's saying that I'm not allowing you access in a hospital because your kite would obviously be like very strong. Into that, using the statue to guarantee to block off that portal and then get this beautiful beginning game from John Zhao right here. Like I said, Beeper Sculptor. One chip. All I can do. Oh, nice dodge. This is all it needs. Wait,
Ooh, there's the chip.
that was a chip. So did he miss? Do you think he
Yeah, he
missed the
missed his first statue. Like, he knew where the bot was, but sadly couldn't really get that statue down. And didn't want to waste too much time in case the mechanic would gain too much distance.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Because like, if they choose to sell the mech here, the mech's bot is still up. It's decoding. They don't want to give it full presence. I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to avoid, giving John full presence, because that would put them in a very tough position to tie. Because a sculptor full presence is not to be messed with. As you can see, the presence bar, he really doesn't have much. If they go into the mid game here with that much presence, I think they should be pretty set for a tie as long as their Cipher Rush is good, their next kite is good, but 5 ciphers, that's nothing to laugh at. John got a very fast down.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is a great start for John indeed. It all comes down to the second kite.
Yeah, it honestly does. This is what mid game is all tailored around, the second kite. While the first kite is also obviously the most important part of the game, because that is the foundation of the survivors' efforts to get whether a win or a tie. First kite determines it all, but the second kite is just as important, because if you don't have a solid second kite, you're almost guaranteed to lose, to be honest. Especially one like Sculptor, who has every idea of map control, who has every inch ounce of the map covered under her fingertips. It's definitely very difficult if you don't have a solid second kite.
Yeah, no,
John got
definitely.
stuck on the pallet right there.
And there we have a stray mechanic bot. Sadly, it's not really do a lot, but it's extra presence, and that's something the sculptor wants. You want that extra presence, because going into that first or that second chase with only needing 1 chip hit, that's really good setup for the hunter. Ooh, could not break the connection in time.
Oh wow, that was a really good pop right there. But Dazzle, look at this. Legacy, known to be one of the best teams of NAU, 5 Cipher down. That's ridiculous. Like, Team Tickle are definitely making a name out for themselves, showing that they should not be messed with, honestly, that they can play with the best, that they can compete against the best. It's all so amazing to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is why I was really looking forward to this matchup, because Team Tickle really has some really solid names on there. But since they're a fairly new team, it is gonna come down to how well they can work together as a team. And John is laying it out for them, getting that hit on the Priestess. They did manage to pop 2 more ciphers, so they are still. The other 2 ciphers are at 50%, so they're still up for a draw. Forward has full football, so he could make a play. Priest is getting terror shock on that cipher, sadly. On that pellet, I mean.
Yeah. Well, is that cipher got no. All the ciphers are in front of them. Do you think they can still pull a tie? The progress from the prisoners, so it's 74%. So it's actually a lot. They could very well pull a tie.
There is an opportunity. Priestess is on first share. Forward can still make a play. There is an opportunity, but they cannot afford to make any slip-ups or whatsoever. They need to play this safely, they need this cleanly, and they need Forward to make a game-changing play here.
And Legacy, like Chat is pointing out, Legacy's team notorious for really, really good rotations, as we saw here. And it gave them time to get all these ciphers done. Like, look, now we're down to 1, Dazzle. As far as 5 was during the first down, we're now back down to 1. And how much is it? It's 50%. Wait, 80%?
It's 80. It's at 80%. If the Forward can stay around and harass, which is exactly what he's got to do here. If he can keep it, there is the cipher pop. There is the potential for a draw.
Wow, honestly. As we saw their Cipher Rush, maybe all those ciphers were built up with a lot of progress. They were just popping so quickly, popping. It made it so, like this game became in the Survivor's favor so quickly. Now it looks like a strong draw for them, as opposed to it looking like an absolute loss. Wow. Great job from Legacy.
That was really well played from Legacy here. After a really rough start, was definitely looking in John's favor. Is gonna switch to teleport here onto the prisoner. They still have some time to work with. It's not done yet. John brings the tension to. Is gonna down the prisoner here. The other gate's not open just yet.
Yeah, this gate wasn't open. That was a good idea from John to know that gate wouldn't be open if he made that teleport right there, because he saw that he interrupted the gate progress with his chisel. So it's a good move right here. He's gonna try to force them out right here, because cheering near gate is obviously chisel and then push them. Yeah. So yeah, this is a strong tie for Legacy and for Team Tickle right here. Very good start from both sides. Although as strong as John's lead was, the survivors pulled it up with great rotations, great Cipher rush, it just splitting up everything so beautifully. Amazing job from both sides.
Yeah, and you do have to kind of give it to Mechanic as well, because even though John knew where the bot was, he did not manage to spike it down, statue it down when he was still in chase, and Mechanic basically kiting away from that bot, making it so that John was forced to spike the bot rather than spike any of the other survivors. So that did leave, especially the prisoners, some time to get those Cipher machines down, which basically set them up for a draw. And this is what I was talking about as well. If you just go ahead and sell against someone like a sculptor, you can set yourself up for a draw still. If they do not get to that full presence, which is really important, that's definitely your priority as a survivor team against a hunter like Sculptor, making sure they do not get to full presence, selling, and just kind of try and go for a safe draw, even though it's still rather hard. But yeah, setting yourself up for that, and that's exactly what Legacy did. It's just well played.
Yeah, both sides played excellently. Legacy showing that even though they had 5 ciphers, they could still pull it out. Legacy is a very dangerous team and not one to be messed with. Their survivors and hunter sides both being very solid. As you saw, their survivors can make a bleak situation into a tieable one, which is very impressive on its own. And not to mention, Team Tickle was Hunter John on such a strong lead. So we're going to see a very even matchup here, I think, Dazzle. Because for me, when I see the first matchup against the two teams, it's the first time they're going against each other. The result of that match is most likely how the games are going to be. Like, if you see them get, like, evenly, like a tie, like I said, it's an even matchup, and the games are going to go both ways the entire time. Maybe even see round 3s, 4s, that type thing. But if you see a solid, elimination from one team, usually it can be that the team snowballs into that manner. Do you know what I mean? It's all about that first game. It sets them up. Because from there, from the first game, you start getting hunter bans, and you start getting more survivor bans. So if you establish that solid gameplay and that solid even matchup from the start, it becomes unclear to both sides who will actually take the crown. And that itself is amazing.
Yeah, and definitely because you have to keep in mind, this was Legacy's surviving team that managed to get a draw. And like I said earlier, Legacy is known for their strong hunter lineup. So this is definitely going to be a challenge for Team Tickle. They need to get this draw here. It is possible. It's sacred hard. But it's going to be hard. It's definitely not going to come for free. And they really have to take it if they want it.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight for it. It looks like Team Tickle's not going to make this easy on Legacy. Legacy's not going to make it easy on Team Tickle. Absolutely. It's going to be very difficult.
I'm curious to see what Team Tickle is going to pull out. Mechanic is going to get banned here, which is fair because, like I said earlier, Mechanic can set for that draw, which is what Team Tickle needs here. They actually really want a Mechanic here, but sadly, it's not what they can go for. Still does leave choices such as forward Priestess 2. Priestess actually gonna get picked here. Also the Seer. And that's
Priestess
a
Seer
4,
lock.
man.
Ooh, forward ban. Like you said, they don't want that chance of redemption coming through. Legacy's Hunter is respecting Team Tickle's forward. And honestly, it's a really good idea, especially if you know that a team has a very solid forward, like Team Tickles. And Seer Priestess Lock is good for solid support. Seer being great against Sculptor and Dream Witch, like they said. Seer is a great lock because it's versatile. It's gonna favor whatever the hunter picks. The only thing I'd say Seer doesn't really favor is the non-meta hunters. Like honestly, Seer is so strong as a survivor, and it's a very good lock-in my opinion.
Yeah, no, indeed. It's like even against chip hunters such as Sculptor, it is risky, but if you're a good seer, you can still make it work. It all comes down to great timing, and these players that we are seeing right now, they're definitely capable of that. They're
And the
definitely capable of having that timing down to such an art form that they can make it work against chip hunters too.
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing Alien take the lead, take the gauntlet for Hunter, for Legacy.
We cannot see the bands right now, so I'm not sure what the picks are gonna be. Hold up.
Hang on, guys.
There you go. Alright, so we're gonna see Prisoner and Mercenary. So Prisoner for a little bit of Cipher Rush, which is really important. Mercenary, just insurance, like you said earlier, Mickey. And I think that's the best way to explain it. And once again, we're gonna see Sculptor match.
And Sculptor, like we said, Hospital, Alien's gonna show John that not only is John Sculptor deadly, but his can play too. And Alien's notorious for Sculptor. His statues, like we say, they're lasers. They're honestly lasers. If you set them up, he's just gonna take advantage of it. And looks like we're gonna see a Prisoner is gonna compensate for Mech Man. Is definitely gonna compensate for Mech Man because Sculptor does like any other hunter. Sculptor's weakness is Cipher Rush, dude. So it's gonna be a very balanced pick, and it's gonna be a very intense match.
I mean, the only thing I'm slightly concerned about in this matchup is the fact that their only rescuer is a Mercenary. And of course, Mercenary can get it off, and you do not run the rescue too much against the Sculptor. But at the same time, it does leave them kind of vulnerable. Prisoner doesn't really have a lot to work with. Seer has an owl, which is a really strong item, but at the same time, once that owl is out of the game, it is out of the game, and it's going to be really hard for him to recharge, since he has to keep an eye out for those statues and dodge them. And then, of course, there's Priestess. Priestess, like I said earlier, is able to rescue too. But that was Forever Sleeping, and Sacred Heart is a bit of a different story, because Sacred Heart has some really nasty chairs for a Priestess to work with.
Yeah, indeed. And the name of the game is distance to be a Sculptor, because if a Sculptor is super far away from you, it's harder to land her statues that way. You transition Kiter, you tie Kiter, she's gonna laser you, especially Alien being really deadly with Sculptor. But it's that distance that you build against her that's gonna be so effective and make it a lot harder for her to chase. And a Sculptor initially is pretty hard to chase in the beginning, but it's those Sculptors who don't depend on full presence that make very great hunters. Sculptors especially like Alien, Sculptors like Galaxy Iris, Tyrone, all those hunters.
Oh yeah, no. Those Sculptors that can get those snipes off without even being full presence.
Very
Getting
impressive.
that early chase down to like maybe 40 seconds. That's what you want as a Sculptor, because like we saw with Legacy Survivors, they can still sell and they can still pull a draw out of it because the Sculptor's not in presence. But if you're that precise as a Sculptor, that's scary.
Very. And we're going to see that Hunter got a Shack spawn. The survivors are going to be to the right of him and some in front. This is a survivor favorite spawn because as you can see, they can check from the window and they know exactly where they're from. There's a key spawn indicating where Hunter is, and they're gonna find the priestess. Very tough first target, but free hit given right here by problems. Unfortunately, Alien knowing his spawns exactly where to go and takes a chip right here. Will he get the down though? Nope. He's gonna ignore this pallet. He's gonna use the portal. Very good portal.
Priestess taking hospital here.
This is deadly. This is dangerous for Alien to chase a priestess here, but will he pursue? Looks like he's gonna have to. Priestess being only one chip away makes him the ideal target. Pallet's a beautiful
pallet stun from Paul.
Definitely, and this is gonna give Priestess a lot more distance, a lot more space to do a longer kite and another portal. Perfect. Good at, like I said,
and another portal is coming right up here too. Priestess is doing a great job at this rebound.
Owl going off too. Owl going off is gonna buy more time. You don't even need to last with the owl because owl gives you 15 seconds, and that itself is a lot of time. Enough time for another portal, it seems. And she's gonna continue kiting hospital. Very difficult chase for the sculptor right here. Looking like this is gonna be ace. Doesn't vault the window to avoid giving extra presence. Good knowledge from Paul right there. This is a pretty solid kite, honestly. The ciphers are almost done, Dazzle.
Yeah, no, it was a fairly rough start for Folly, giving away the free hit, but you saw what hospital can do for a priestess.
Yeah, definitely. And oh no, dying on prisoner Cipher is problematic for them. Because you're gonna slow down the Cipher rush. Ideally, the priestess should have died away from all of the ciphers. And that risky move that Paul made to go for a pallet stun, camp the pallet right there, was a very bold choice, but it ended up paying off for him. He even had time to get to the window and get the out. Looks like Merc is gonna go for the rescue. Very interesting move because we usually see people sell on Sculptors. Sculptors, like Alien, if they don't get this rescue off, it's going to be very difficult for them. But chair hit, beautiful rescue. That's a free rescue right there for the survivors. And this is going to put them in a much stronger position and try to avoid full presence. But it looks like, nope, Alien's going to pursue.
There we go with the full presence. 3 seconds remaining and getting that full presence. There are the last 3 ciphers that have good progress onto them, so it's actually not too big of a deal. Team Tickle can definitely still get a draw out of this, but it's not gonna be easy. They have to work really hard for it, and again, they are in a position where they cannot really afford to slip up. Mercenary is half health, Prisoner already took 1 chip hit, and is gonna be the next target, it seems.
He's gonna dodge these statues and continue decoding.
Oh, gets the Cipher done. That's huge.
That is huge. Pops the Cipher. Oh, needs to get out of basement though. Definitely needs to get out of basement. And Alien switched to Alien has Blink. Alien has Blink. Did he switch or did he start off with Blink? I'm not sure.
Not too
but
sure.
Mercenary. Wait, the Cipher just popped. Wait, this is huge. Team Tickle was in a huge position to get a tie right here against Alien. Alien having Blink, not teleport, but maybe he's gonna save it to switch to teleport. I think he's gonna.
No, there's actually Alien brings an up-down build.
An up-down build. Okay, here's just wow. Uh-oh, this is bad. Well, choosing to decode this gate is definitely very risky because he knew that the last kite would take place in Birdcage.
Is Alien gonna be able to turn it around at the very end of this game? There's definitely an opportunity to. Everyone is together. That's definitely not something you want in game.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And here's the thing, Mercenary pushing that gate. What do you think of this? It's a very risky move, definitely, because Sculptor is not too far to interrupt that gate. But it looks like it's gonna be a one-man escape, or is Merc gonna push this? No, it's gonna be a one-man escape. It's gonna force him out.
It all comes down to the Seer, if they're still gonna be able to tie it. Dungeon is there, so there is an opportunity, but sadly not able to do so.
Lamau. Sorry guys, I didn't realize he hit the Merc, but I was just excited. I thought he got chipped twice, and I thought he hit the chair. That's all that happened. But well, wow. 3-man elimination by Alien right there, turning it around even with that blink, without teleport. That's very impressive.
Alien really clutched that up.
Crazy move by Alien right there.
Like I said, I think it might have been a little bit of miscommunication on Team Tickle's part here, because they did set themselves up for a draw with that Cipher pop. However, Prisoner kiting towards the gate that both Seer and Mercenary were at, that kind of cost them. I'll be honest. Kind of cost them the game there. If it wasn't for that, they might have still been able to get a draw out of this. But for that reason, everyone being together, it's not something you want. It's
not against Sculptor. No,
no, especially with any hunter that just brings the tension. Once they are gathered at the very single gate that isn't even open yet, it just, yeah, you saw what happened. I don't really need to explain that, but it's really unfortunate because Team Tickle was in a position where they could tie this first round.
Yeah, it looks like a very strong draw for Team Tickle right there. Like I said, the miscommunication, choosing to rush Hospital Gate was unwise because the last kite is taking place there, and it's a really good area to do a last kite hospital right there. But knowing that he has an up-down build, blink, they didn't know he had blink though. That's the thing. So Alien kept that hidden almost the entire game, and that probably influenced their choice to open Hospital Gate, thinking that teleport, thinking rushing it was the best idea. But Shack Gate definitely would have been the best thing to push because it's not near the down person, and they'd still have ample time to react, honestly, if a teleport should take place. Even if you did have teleport. Shack Gate overall was the better objective right there to rush, because being near your final kiter, your endgame kiter, is very scary and very risky. And as we saw, it did not go well for Team Tickle for having the endgame kiter be near their team.
Yeah, no, indeed. But yeah, really well played from Alien, acknowledging that they were at the gate using that blink so that he wasn't forced to break the pallet. Didn't give the survivors any time to get away from that gate. Just really well played. Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see because they really did set themselves up, and Problems did an amazing job kiting around that hospital.
Yeah, definitely. A first kite, so important. And Problem secured that first kite very nicely. Almost 3 ciphers. Just dying on the prisoner cipher slowed down the cipher rush a bit. I'd say that was also a small error, but it seems like even with that error, they were in a solid position to tie. Can you see that?
No, I really thought it was going to end in a draw as well.
Legacy takes round 1 with an Iron Claw. Great job by Alien right there.
I mean, at the same time, so Legacy did take the first round. However, it isn't a huge lead in points. They did still manage to get 1 survivor out of there, which does mean that they get 3 points instead of 5 points in case this would have been a 4-man elimination. So that only makes for a 1-point gap. So if it comes down to it, like we saw last round, where Lost Cipher took the draw in the very last round and still took the entire matchup with just that 1 round. It's definitely possible for Team Tickle to still turn this around.
Team Tickle did a very good thing by getting their 1-man out, like you said, because it's going to make it a lot easier for them to pull it back, and it's going to be tougher for Legacy to build a stronger lead on them. As we can see, they're a very, very good team, very competitive, and they can last against all the damage that Legacy would dish out. And same goes on the other way. Legacy can last all damage Team Tickle's Hunter would dish out. And it's, like I said, a very balanced match, as you can see, Dazzle.
Yeah, it's really good. And you have to keep in mind, once again, Team Tickle is a fairly new team. They have a lot of big names, of course, in there, but at the same time, these people might not be as used to working together in a team. So pulling this off, getting 1-man escape, and actually essentially setting themselves up for a draw against Alien Sculptor in itself is already really good. That's already a great start for a team that just started out.
Yeah, Team Tickle is the it's like Rocky. You seen Rocky? It's like the underdog team training to become the best, you know. It's an old movie. Chasing Priestess in hospital is risky. Joanna's right. Chasing Priestess in a hospital as any hunter is very risky because but Alien had confidence. Alien made a bold decision to chase and it paid off for him. Dying she did die on a teammate Cipher, which gave him a little more control, a little more pressure on the map right there. But it was a very good kite. It was very strong opening kite, especially against a sculptor like Aliens. Yeah, definitely. It's part of Aliens' brand to chase the unchaseable. Very charming. That's what Emmy says. Well, yeah, if you have hunters that chase these things, I think Pitt did it too today. Pitt chased a wildling.
Yeah, he did. Although Pitt was in a bit of better situation. I mean, was a wildling, of course, it's fairly hard, but he was a breaking wheel, so he could still get those spikes off. And he wasn't in a great area than Priestess being in hospital, especially against someone like Sculptor, is able to do a lot more in that hospital area as a survivor than Wildling was in that particular area.
Very bold choice by Alien, but it ended up paying off for him. So definitely these games are very interesting. They're very exciting, on edge, and it's just not a dull moment here in ICL today. I'm just sad that there's no All for One. I'm just gonna be real with you. I really wanted to see All for One hunt again, pull out his wheel, pull out his unorthodox top hunters like Feaster Ripper, pull out all those.
I would have wanted to see a third round Ripper. That would have been insane.
All for One's Ripper, yeah, definitely not to be trifled. It's gonna bring us back to season 2 days, you know?
Yeah, no, for real. Would have topped it off if there was a Mind's Eye too.
Why do you think there'd be a Mind's Eye?
That's. I mean, Ripper is already kind of risky. I'll be honest, Ripper.
It is.
But going with a Mind's Eye, yeah.
If that happened, that'd be so funny.
It would be fun, and I mean, goes for a lot of survivors. I mean, at the same time, I want to see a first officer. That would have been fun too. First officer is a bit more likely to get picked. Also, because I saw some people asking about patient and psychologist, they won't be available for this season as they're still too new. They're only just out. We are allowing Naiad, but yeah, since patient and psychologist came out during this season, we're not gonna allow them. So yeah, don't expect to see that. I'm not too sure, by the way, if they'll be allowed for playoffs or if they're not allowed for playoffs also, as well. So don't quote me on that one. However, for the regular season, they are not available.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because, yeah, they're fresh out of the Survivor market, so they're too new to introduce into any kind of...
Yeah, I mean...
follow IVL rules, right, Naza? Here,
yeah, no, this follows the IVL rules. However, I'm partially excited to see Psychologist. However, on the other hand, I've seen some ranked matches with Psychologist, and she's pain. She is pain to deal with.
She's a juggernaut.
Yeah. Ooh, we are coming in Mechanic Mercenary ban, also Sculptor ban, which is fair. We're also getting Arms Factory, so like I said, quite the time map. Going with Forward and Seer, forward game-changing character, which is what they need here. They want to get ahead. And the Seer, you already explained it very well, why Seer is a good pick. And a good lock, actually, I should say, because you do have to be kind of smart about what two survivors you pick first.
And Dazas, we see a sculptor band. You know what Hunter shines bright on this map. It's notorious for. You guessed it.
Yeah.
Dream Witch is very strong on Artifact. She corners you in many areas. It's a lot of high foliage that she can hide behind and sneak up her little gremlin on you. It's really annoying. But given the new Dream Witch nerf, it's a little harder to sneak up on survivors. They should be paying attention, and it should be a lot easier for them to do that. But Seer's gonna be used to prolong this first kite. Dream Witch gets very fast downs, especially on Artifact. So Seer's gonna be used to prolong that kite and to complement the first kite, which will most likely be three ciphers if pulled off correctly this year. And we're gonna see a painter and a coordinator.
Oh, so we do have a double decoding nerf. Like you said, they are, and I think they really are expecting a Dream Witch with that Seer pick and also with the forward. But painter and coordinator, so this does kind of look like an excitement bait, or at the very least, a rage bait.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very, very strong kiting team because the weakest link here would be coordinator, and even then, like I said, it's not really. We're gonna see a bonbon.
Ooh.
We're gonna see a bonbon on our side. Very interesting. I didn't see the Dream Witch because Dream Witch is very strong on this map. But however, you think the comp influenced the Hunter's decision to pick Dream Witch?
I mean, Dream Witch, in this, it can work. Dream Witch against this team comp could work, but it's a bit risky. Like you said, this is a good kiting team. They have their stuns, but also it is actually John who is gonna hunt again, and John actually makes for a really good bonbon. So I'm not really that surprised to see that here. And they might have seen it coming too, with that, especially with the coordinator coming in. Coordinator is actually fairly good against a guard 26.
Somebody said in the chat, Uni says, I smell excitement. It's very possible. With the coordinator, forward, and a painter, excitement is very in the air right here. And honestly, teleport would not be favor this position. Blink maybe, but yeah, the most ideal traits to bring here would be either excitement for just in case the forward makes a risky play. Teleport would not be ideal, so it's gonna be excitement, blink, or honestly maybe even peepers. I don't know, because John's John. John, he can pull at anything, and he makes it work though. With all the unorthodox strategies, makes him work. I doubt we're going to see Bomb Patroller, but guys, it's in the air.
I also see some people suggesting like an on-screen indicator for which team plays what. I'm still working on some stuff. Sadly, we cannot use the survivor names under the characters for the reason that once the band's coming and we don't actually know what person is going to play what. So sadly, that's not something we can do. But we will definitely work on an indicator before the banning is going to come up to show who's actually going to play what. But it's a bit hard as we do need to do coin tosses to decide who's going to play when. So that's why it's not in here right now, and why we don't have the player names under the characters.
And guys, it's very hard to get these things. We would love to do these things for you guys, but you got to consider how difficult it can be on the technical aspect of fitting all these in. This is why it's so amazing to see IBL to even have like Cipher progress displayed. That's very important.
Man, I wish I could implement that, but I have no clue how to do it. And I don't think it's actually possible to do it. I've been thinking about it, but I cannot figure a way.
That's so interesting. I don't know how they do it, but they did it.
I mean, they have, of course, a lot of stuff they can do, but that's like very technical talk.
Very, very.
Instead,
technical.
let's just get into the technical aspect of this match.
Yeah, indeed. Hunter Spawn Factory. The survivors are going to be in front and to the left of him. This is going to be a very survivor favorite spawn because look, you got two people in the second best kiting area of this map right here. First, of course, being Factory, and he's gonna find the Painter. The Painter is gonna be a ideal target for him. Beautiful chain bomb. Looks like it might be a fast down. Look at these. He's eating these chain bombs.
This is. John is doing an amazing job landing these bombs on the Painter.
Yes, indeed. And I wish we could see the traits for John, but we cannot. And it looks like it's a teleport build.
Wow, that owl coming in, making it so that the Painter's actually gonna be able to finish his painting. We do see that Momon actually brought teleport, so no excitement available.
Very good painting right
here. I do
here.
still think he brought rage or something like that.
Definitely for the stuns, rage and what's it called?
Desperate fight.
Desperate fight, yeah. Rage, desperate fight. Here's cutting him off from Factory, saying I'm not gonna let you kite Factory because you obviously kite me very long there. It's a strong survivor map. He's forcing Alex to kite outside Factory, which is a very good decision by John here. Nice Factory by force. He's not even caring. He just takes it right by force. It's gonna be a very strong kite. Very strong opening kite for Legacy right here, which is what they need against a hunter like Bonbon.
Yeah, Painter going in using both of his paintings in the first kite, which is really good because Painter is now out of items. Basically, trying to lengthen that first kite as much as he can, kiting away from everyone's ciphers too. But this does mean now that he's used all his items, he's potentially not really gonna rebound. So they might just go ahead and, at the very least, go for a save after half.
Because it's Painter, yeah, you can use after half because you can have leeway. There's no such thing as after half against Painter.
No, indeed. So the fact that Painter uses paintings and got that first chase, it does put the survivors in somewhat of a comfortable position. However, Coordinator sadly kind of running into the hunter there, taking that free hit.
John finds the board. Do you think he's going to lose the Painter? He might lose the Painter.
Losing the Painter, it's of course not ideal, but he didn't sit on chair too long, so he does have quite a bit to go. So it's not too big of a deal, but it's definitely not something you want, especially since the Painter did a good opening kite and is out of items, so he is an easy down here. Much more easy than the forward. However, forward did use a lot of his football too.
To get to the chair, maybe? Fast? Here comes the teleport. Does he find the Painter?
Because he realized the Coordinator was going to get cut off. They probably communicated that through VC2.
Yeah, definitely. Their communications on Legacy are very solid, very intact. They have a very strong team bond, as you can tell. And Coordinator right here is going to be the next chase. But there's one Cipher left. This is not looking good for the Bonbon. The most he can do here is try to secure this down before the pop, but even then, it's going to be in a very tight situation. Survivor's a Legacy. Very good job. Making him lose the Painter. Just all of this is just putting him in a very uncomfortable position. The hunter
overtaking that instant bomb.
Yeah, definitely. All survivors are in the same area. This could be huge. Finds the seer, bonks him right on the head.
Everybody's injured now. They are forced to heal up. The middle cipher is around 60%. Not enough to actually pressure.
Very good pallet drop right there. Yeah, they're all injured. This is going to force that, because if they decide to rush the Cipher half health, like we see right here, it's going to be a very risky move. Like the forward, green right here, is going to try to rush it half health. But luckily he has a speed boost to help him get away from the Cipher. But even then, very risky move. And I don't know if it's going to pay off all that well.
I mean, Forward is doing a good job trying to lead the hunter away from Cipher. They actually are just gonna heal up indeed. Especially Painter needs to get healed up. Is of course already been shared once.
Yes, a perfume.
Well, we do see that both Coordinator and Painter also opened the chest. As of course they are out of items.
Yeah, exactly. The most the hunter can do here is probably a one-man elimination. I don't know. Could still tie. Everything's in the air. Teleport build. If he has the tension, he could pull it back. But right now, it's looking like a very strong position for the survivors right here. Legacy just rotating and just showing their dominance. Very good rescue by. I think John, his misstep was leaving the chair like that because he assumed they wouldn't rescue. He was making assumptions, but Legacy right there showed him that the forward
And I
right
mean,
there.
honestly, knowing that the painter was out of items, it is very likely that they would have gone for the cell. It is a bonbon after all, so it's definitely not really. Yeah, it's definitely something that could have happened, and he actually cut off the coordinator. The only thing is that the forward used his football to close in on that chair and get that rescue off while the coordinator was kind of just a distraction. And they are popping this middle Cipher.
Tension active. So here's the thing. With all this going on, Bonbon definitely is a strong endgame hunter, depending on survivor positioning. If the survivors are all close to him, he can do something. But if they're all super far away, kiting to a gate, is the gate open? It is open. It is open. He's gonna cut off the seer from it. He's gonna try to guarantee his one down at least. I think this is what the move is for John right here.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs to get at least that one down, which he actually gets here.
That range. What the heck? You never see Bonbon hit that far away. Oh my god. Is he Wu Chang? Like, what's going on here? But yeah, that's a one-man elimination for John Zhao. Very good job by Legacy, rotating amazingly. And rescuing Painter was the huge decision that caught John off guard, and he just was not ready for it. Having no Cipher being near that chair is also critical. No way for him to catch up, and no way for him to absolutely know where Painter went. It's just wow. It's very good plays from both sides.
Yeah, you have to give it to Painter with that opening kite. I was kind of skeptic because John was landing some really good chain bombs, but he still made it work. Got that painting off. The Sears Owl. The Sears Owl came in clutch, I'll be honest. The Sears Owl gave the painter time to finish his painting, and from there on, with that painting, he could rotate towards the factory. And then, like you said, John wasn't just gonna give up the factory for free, but the painter forcefully took it with that second painting. And from there on, really good opening kite, and then good communication within the team, coordinator getting cut off, forward using his football to get the rescue off as quickly as possible, losing the painter, forced to chase that forward not really target you want to chase. Just overall really good kiting from Legacy.
This is why Seer can be so dangerous for hunters, even against chip hunters like Bonbon. You saw it there. That Seer single-handedly turned around the game. That early down looked like it was about to happen, but the Seer saved him, completed the painting. Everything else rolled from there for the survivors. Amazing communication. Amazing job from Legacy right there to pull it back like that. But John had amazing early game too. He was going to get a strong quick down, but like I said, Seer turned the game around. Wow.
Yeah. No, it was definitely Sears All. I'll be honest, it's kind of the MVP in this game. I think
much
the Owl is quite the MVP, because if it wasn't for that Owl, Bader would have been down without even being able to use one painting. And from there on, that would have been a really rough position for these survivors, because then Painter would have been chaired at 5 ciphers remaining, and then John would set himself up for, I would say, a pretty comfortable tie, especially considering he had the tension too. Might have been able to win it, but it's still a bonbon, which is really hard to actually gain wins with, especially on a map like Arms Factory, which is really balanced. So yeah, that was hard. But yeah, the Sears Owl just made it so that in the end, Vader could get to that factory, and from there on, the rest is history. And this really puts a lot of pressure on Team Tickle, because if they want to take this round, they need 4-man escape. And I'll be honest, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it's possible against
very unlikely.
Yeah. I mean, they might. It's not over yet. They might be able to get 3-man escape. They played really well in that first round. They almost got that draw. So I'm confident that Team Tickle would potentially be able to set themselves up for a 3-man escape if they play their cards right. And that means that there would be a draw. that there would be a third round, and then Team Tickle can still make it work, just as Lost Cipher did.
Yeah,
So
definitely, guys.
it's not done yet. But at the same time, the pressure on Team Tickle survivors is high, and like I said, Team Tickle is a very new team. These survivors are not really used to working together as a team in an actual tournament. They lack that. I mean, as individuals, these players don't really lack experience, but as a team, they kind of do.
That's true. It all comes down to how familiar you are with playing in a tournament. And Legacy, obviously, being more an older team, having older players, they definitely experience the tournament field a lot more.
Yeah, and they are used, these survivors in Legacy, like I said, coordinator and forward having really good communication on that rescue, making it so that the forward could get that rescue off while the hunter was preoccupied with the coordinator. And that's the kind of communication you need as a survivor team in order to get a good game. And I'll have to see. I mean, like I said, Team Tickle has really experienced players too, so it's possible. I'm just not 100% sure if they are used enough to working in this team, this particular set of players, to make it work.
Yeah, Team Tickle honestly is not a bad team. We're not discrediting them. They're a very solid team.
Oh yeah,
But
no, definitely.
with more experience, they would be quite formidable in this tournament.
Oh yeah, I really hope they keep this up, because for a team that only started out, I think this current set of players has been playing together for maybe a month. I think around maybe a month. Yeah, not maybe a bit longer, but it's only been so many weeks, and that's really impressive because, like I said, and like you said too, Mickey, they set themselves up for a draw in a first round against Alien Sculptor. That's impressive. That's nothing short of impressive.
Yeah, but it's just that small miscommunication that ended up messing it up for them. So once they begin to continue to build that strength and that team bonding, they're going to be a lot more formidable.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to come in with a forward and a seer then.
Solid pick.
Forward is a really smart ban in this case. Team Tickle has good forward players, and forward can turn the game around. Forward is actually what they need here. If they want to win, you need that little bit of harassing, because it can be
Legacy's Hunter. Legacy's Hunter is eliminating that option, Daza, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. It does leave the mechanic to be picked, and mechanic is good for a solid draw. They of course need more, but ensuring that Cipher Rush is really important here, and they could very well try and go for a double decoding team comp, for example. Try and rush down those ciphers. It's kind of risky. There's definitely a risk in taking a double decoding team comp, but we've seen it work out. They're indeed gonna go ahead and pick this mechanic. Also the mercenary, ensuring that very first rescue.
Oh yeah, definitely. The insurance is there, guys. If you're gonna need a 4-man, you're gonna need to go for a lot of rescues, and that is key.
I am very curious. They're gonna ban the prisoner here, making it so that you do not have that prisoner to help the mechanic Cipher Rush even more, basically. So, really smart ban from Legacy there. Trying not to give them the option to go for the double decoding team comp. Basically ensuring that you do not have to deal with Cipher Rush as much. Of course, there's still mechanics, so there will still be Cipher Rush. There will definitely be Cipher Rush.
It's gonna put this team in a better position to win if they can Cipher Rush properly, kite well. If all of it is there, they can do it, Daza. I'm not counting them out yet.
Oh yeah, no, it's the second round. They still have a lot of stuff to go with.
The bans are limited, and I'm very interested to see the Hunter is going to ban Prisoner as opposed to Mechanic. While Prisoner is a better kiter, Mechanic is definitely the better Cipher rusher.
I mean, I think it's for the reason that they really want to have the forward and the seer out of the way. Forward to make it so that the game cannot be turned around, and steer to basically shorten that first kite. Might as well also be a Dream Witch. I'm not counting out the fact that Dream Witch is going to be pulled out here, because Dream Witch is actually kind of capable of dealing with the bot, as Dream Witch is not forced to sit around the mechanic's chair. So it's definitely an opportunity. We're getting a cowboy. I wonder if Eli is gonna be a cowboy, because we do know, of course, Eli used to be the first cowboy. So
Yes, he
I wouldn't be
does.
surprised. And like I said, they do need a bit of harassment. So I'm very excited to see that coming in.
Cowboy Coordinator is the final pick. So Coordinator is also going to be more of an insurance character, you know, good rescues, because Flare Gun, you can't really deny that. Maybe even kite support if they kite near her. Because I see that strategy being utilized in other servers. And honestly, I'm excited to see Cowboy. That's huge, but maybe
Yeah, no, me too. We don't see a lot of Cowboy, and Cowboy is still able to make some great plays. Of course, he did get nerfed, and it kind of killed him. I'll be honest, it kind of killed him.
It did.
Yeah, but for that reason, you see, indeed, like you said, Cowboy being used to support kiting rather than try and go for the balloon rescues.
Is also very possible, yeah. Because Cowboy
Bloody Queen. I mean, honestly, Bloody Queen is a really valid pick here. Bloody Queen, Tie Queen. If you need a draw, which is what Alien needs here, Bloody Queen is your hunter.
Bloody Queen is going to be a great pick, Daza, for Alien right here, because he does not want any survivor leaving his grasp. And Bloody Queen does a great job of securing a tie.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And, I mean, it's not gonna be easy still. Because you do have the mechanic to deal with, and mechanic counters Bloody Queen, then you have Mercenary. If the mercenary gets found first, it's also gonna be a bit rough. However, then there's, for example, Coordinator. Coordinator is really weak against Bloody Queen.
Yeah, for sure. And this entire team in general, except Mercenary and Cowboy, arguably, yeah, are weak to Bloody Queen. So this is gonna be a very, very strong matchup. Alien has matchup, but not to say that. That doesn't mean that the game is determined and set in stone right there. Anything can happen.
What? No spider? What a coward.
Sure.
I mean, kinda.
BQ, I only see Mad Eyes.
I mean, I'm still waiting for the Mad Eyes round. I mean, I do know he got nerfed. Kinda sad. I like Mad Eyes.
Don't worry about him. He's still pretty good with his.
Yeah, but it's really hard to pull him off. There's not a lot of Mad Eyes players on the server anyway, which I think is a shame. He's still really underrated as a hunter, but it's just he takes a lot of practice and skill and doesn't always pay off, which I think is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Mad Eyes, I think there's only about 2 players in high tier, and they play him very well. They both play him very well. And every time you get them, you're kind of like, you're not like, oh, it's easy, it's Mad Eyes. You still have that uncertainty, and you're kind of like, well, I mean, I gotta play like a real game. It's gonna be pretty rough. I know that this Mad Eyes players knows exactly what they're doing, and that itself is terrifying.
I mean, I'm always excited for a Blood Queen round. It is pretty straightforward, I'll be honest, but still, you can still make some really nice plays with her. And the fact that she dropped out of the meta does kind of make her more interesting to me.
Yeah, I remember when we saw BQ constantly on like round 1s and stuff, I did not like her because
Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, I really do not miss it. Because like I said, Blood Queen makes for really straightforward gameplay, and it's fun to see once in a while. I'll be honest, like it's kind of refreshing in a way now. But if you get Blood Queen, every single matchup, and it's just mirror hit, mirror hit, mirror hit, kind of like
Yeah.
that. I'll be honest, this got kind of boring.
Yeah, it becomes
Um,
stagnant and stale. So
yeah, no hate to Blood Queen or whatsoever, but yeah, I do not miss that. I mean, she got killed. The nerf killed her, absolutely. But I guess we got Sculptor in return, so
I don't really find Sculptor fun though. As Skeletor said before, if you play Sculptor, if you're a spice, you're flour. So what Skeletor told me. It was really funny. And,
spiciest flower. Oh, that's hilarious.
I know Skeletor is just so funny. But anyways, I'm really excited to see Cowboy come off here. I'm excited to see how he's gonna play against BQ, whether or not he's gonna utilize the leverage he can have against her in the right positions, and whether or not Team Tickle here can pull it back and secure a 4-man escape against Alien's Bloody Queen. Let's get it. And Daza, I would rather not have anyone else to commentate with for over 4 hours with than you, Daza. We are a dynamic duo.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I mean, the same goes for me. I've had a lot of fun commentating with you, and I'm really grateful that we got to commentate again today.
Yeah.
Although, of course, I still miss Eli. I'm really sad Eli couldn't be here today, but sadly it happens, and we will have plenty of opportunity to still see Eli shine as a commentator in these streams. I mean, ICL is far from over, so yeah, we'll definitely see more of him. But for now, I'm really grateful to be here with you, Mickey.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to be here with you too. But here we go, possibly the last match of today, but we never know.
We never know. If they 3-man, it's gonna be a third round.
All right, here we go. Alien shaking some bacon. He's throwing it back as BQ walking up to the shack. And here we go. He's going to go off and try to spot out his first target. Let's see who he finds. He finds the Cowboy. Cowboy can position himself to very good lasso right there to transition away from that mirror. But might still be able to get the hit here.
Ooh,
yes,
still able to get the hit. Here. Beautiful.
Does not get the flip though. Does not get the flip though. Yeah, beautiful mirror from Alien, but Cowboy bought enough time where Alien could not get the flip. It has so much distance on them. Now just waiting for that next mirror to go up. That's what Alien's goal is. But
is Cowboy gonna be able to hide this out? No, sadly the track's giving him away. But he tried. He tried.
Yeah, I could tell. He's getting ready for that last right there. Alien's only just gonna walk up and make it harder for him right here. Yeah, Alien's not gonna use a mirror until he absolutely has to. And yeah, good patience from Alien right there, not to waste the mirror on Cowboy. Now has it for Chair. I don't know how useful it is on Chair though, but yeah, I mean the trait is indeed excitement actually.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have actually seen excitement to abnormal from Alien last week, if I'm right.
Yes, I think we saw that too. And thank you, Egg Racers, for making Does the world. Pretty good rescue from Merc right here, just securing and getting out of here.
Oh no, the lasso not locking onto the pallet. That's really unlucky.
Yeah, that's huge. And can even opt for a double hit here. Does he get it? He gets it.
Who gets the double hit?
This is really tragic for Team Tickle right here, because a double hit will slow down Cipher Rush progress, and that Cowboy missing that lasso just did not set him up for a rebound at all. Did not force a mirror, gave Alien options to mirror onto the other survivor. Gonna chair here to make sure that survivors are either gonna come rescue or not. He has options, that's for sure. Alien's at a comfortable pace. He can play this however he likes.
Oh man, I'm just really upset about the cowboy missing his lasso because if he actually managed to lock it on, pull himself towards that area, that means that Alien would have to chase that cowboy down and the mercenary would have gotten away, so this wouldn't have happened at all. It's just really unlucky.
Coordinator's right here. Ooh, very good rescue by Coordinator right there. That was right before. Here comes Excitement. Instantly activates it, not even giving him a chance. But here comes a mirror. Cowboy, Lasso does not prevail, unfortunately.
I do have to say that Team Tickle got very unlucky with Cowboy getting the Shek spawn because
Yeah, honestly.
if Cowboy was not the first target, it means that he would have been able to harass, but now being the target, there was just not much that he could do. I mean, they're still gonna try their best to run these ciphers down.
But the chance of a 3-man is highly unlikely now, with Alien's first down.
Yeah, especially Coordinator is injured. It does look like Blood Queen is actually gonna leave the Coordinator, so that does work out a bit. But Mechanic is also a very vulnerable target. Mercenary is the only one who could potentially kite the Blood Queen here.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anyone up there? Yeah, there is. Is that a bot?
That's the bot, yes.
Yes, that's a bot. Wow.
The bot actually managing to dodge those mirrors.
Yo, wow, the bot's gonna force out a physical. Bot kite, bot kite.
Look at that bot running for his life.
Oh no, Paul's bot. George.
Not George.
Or Georgia, because it's the woman bot.
Oh no, the Coordinator getting the mirror.
Coordinator on the Cipher's gonna eat it right there. Finds the Merc too, not even gonna chair because they know they can get an easy hit. Merc's in a terrible area. Oh,
just too late.
So
the
close.
Switch was just too late.
But Alien's gonna chair here to make sure survivors have to go for the rescue because he knows what they need to prioritize here. So very good idea from Alien to try to force out a rescue, slowing down Cipher Rush because they can't decode while rescuing at the same time. It just doesn't work that way. And that's what
I
Alien
see someone in chat. I wonder why he didn't play Dream Witch. It's because he didn't really need to. He needs a draw here, and Blood Queen is perfect if you need a confirmed draw. Dream Witch still gets countered by good communication, so it does leave some spots open. It does get kited early game, so getting in the Dream Witch, the Blood Queen. Blood Queen doesn't really get kited, and therefore Blood Queen is a good pick if you need a draw.
Gonna go for this double hit on the Mercenary right here. Will get it right here, unfortunately. But there's nothing Merc can do. No elbow pads left to show for it. But there is one Cipher left. How much is it, I wonder? Is it enough to get it on? But even then, a 3-man escape right here is very unlikely.
There is the sandwich. Ooh, Coordinator actually making
her way around that mirror very well. Aw, there's the hit. That's very unfortunate. But Coordinator kited around that mirror very well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Alien really trying to set up that little sandwich on the Coordinator, but Coordinator doing a great job acknowledging the mirror's position and using that to her own advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Alien knows how to utilize the mirrors, but Coordinator here knew how to utilize the rock master code.
So this does, the Mercenary is on the ground, did not use his self-pick though, so he is able to pick himself up. The Coordinator has to come in for his rescue, meaning there's no one decoding at this very moment.
That would be the mechanic, but I get you. Oh.
The Mercenary is OT, so overthrown.
Actually, the Mercenary is Brenda. Overthrown is...
Wait. Oh. I always
Overthrown's the Coordinator, yeah. We're a mess, Dazzle. It's okay. I thought someone hit Cher earlier today and they hit the Merc, so it's okay, Dazzle. Alien's game's totally quiet right now because that's what he does when his game's going well. Honestly, yeah, the deadliest hunters I know don't even play with music on. They just listen to their surroundings and they hunt accordingly. It's quite terrifying to watch.
Yeah, no, they really indeed use the sound of like even the survivors breathing and such to figure out their exact position.
They're like bats, man. They're literally the echolocation. Swing right there, doesn't get the hit. Coordinator can afford
I
to leave
mean,
the time.
the mercenary is still just down on the ground. He's actually getting healed up by this mechanic here. But that still means Coordinator is doing a great job kiting here, but no one's decoding, so it's kind of in vain, sadly.
Yeah, Alien flipping his mirror to find nobody around. Are they rotating and possibly trying to get these heals off?
I mean, it would be the best play. They really need to heal up here.
Looks like Alien knows exactly where they are, though. Amazing job from Alien.
I mean, you have to give it to Team Tickle. They are putting up a great fight. They had an unfortunate early game, Cowboy being the first target to be found, which is incredibly unlucky for this team. But they're still trying their best. They're one side remaining. Mercenaries going down, but Coordinator and Mechanic actually managed to heal up, and now they can go back to decoding that Cipher machine.
I feel so bad for the Merc. This is like the 4th time they're going down. F for the Merc. They're probably just having a rough day.
Yeah, Mercenary sure is taking those hits, and of course now he actually had to use his self-pick too earlier.
There we go. He's going to take this hit right here. And he's going to try his best to kite away from the Cipher. A little hasty, a little indecision right here from Overthrown. But very patient. Very patient.
Good patience.
Very patient by Overthrown right there. Very patience that will help the kite prolong a little longer and maybe get the mech on that Cipher back at Shack. But the survivors, like I said, they're going down with a fight. They're going down swinging, and they're making a name for themselves. Team Tickle, not the team to give up. It's very admirable.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. They are fighting until the bitter end. If they see an opportunity to still make this work, they will. But sadly, Coordinator going down here once again, meaning that this indeed will be a draw. Potentially even a win for Legacy. But that does already settle it. Unfortunately for Team Tickle, Legacy will come out on top. However, it's not the end for Team Tickle. They're still second in the league. So they have a very good chance of making it into the playoffs, which means that we will see much more of this team.
I want to see Legacy versus Fusion, Daza. I really want to see Legacy versus Fusion. The new on the rise team versus the team loved by many. It's amazing.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of potential great matchups, and especially with the playoffs when Division A and B get mixed too, that's gonna be it's gonna be good.
Oh, and the Merc spit down right here. Unfortunately,
Merc getting down once again. The Mercenary is seeing that floor a lot this matchup.
Honestly, got the time to lick every particle of that floor, unfortunately.
Man, I wouldn't want to be the Mercenary here. Especially with that slow healing that he has. I mean, there's not a lot the Mercenary could do. Of course, he doesn't have any elbow pads anymore. And essentially, Bloody Queen, every mirror is just one hit if you do not have an item to tank that mirror.
I really think that Alien right here wants his 4-man elimination, hence not sharing the Merc, which is makes a lot of sense. Alien just wants to go down swinging. He wants to go down with glory, making a name for
John, beautiful job from Paul.
Oh, doing a little victory dance over there, saying, "Yo, that was an awesome illusion." It really was, honestly. So, Alien doing some tricks of his own. They're honestly just playing around at this moment. I love the humor of this community.
Oh no, the Mercenary is about to bleed out. I mean, it does mean that Mechanic can still get the dungeon, and she is making her way over. Problems.
Mercenary bled out.
Problems is gotta go for that dungeon, but the Mercenary actually bled out. That's so sad.
That is so tragic. But Paul can push dungeon. He can push dungeon right here. But doesn't know
he's not running towards dungeon.
He ran away from it. No, and probably miscommunication from Team Tickle right here. But Wow. Very good game from both sides. Alien really just killed the Merc till he was bleeding.
Alien really said no Merc today. You got that right, Kip. He really
Yeah.
said mercenary rights? Nah, I don't think so.
And there it is. 4-man limit ship by Alien. Beautiful job by both sides. I respect how much effort that Team Tickle put into this final play of theirs. They said, we're going down swinging. Very good job.
Yeah. Oh man, would you look at that mechanic with maximum deduction points, getting in 245% of decoding, 1 rescue, 5 heals, and then 130 seconds of containment. That's insane. But yeah, man, that one missed lasso from the cowboy, that really kind of settled it for them. Getting that double down on the mercenary too, with the fact that cowboy went down on it. Yeah, I really hate to see stuff like that because it could have ended different. However, it is a bloody queen. Still could have very well gotten a draw out of that match, regardless. Meaning that the legacy would have won regardless. So it's just a very smart pick from Alien there, and Team Tickle tried to play to the best of their ability, but it sadly wasn't enough for now. Like I said, we will probably see more of them because they're still in a position that they will make it into the playoffs. So they might have lost this matchup, but it's not done yet.
It's never over until the fat lady sings, or until the proportionate woman sings, because 2021 people get offended by everything. So I'm just being careful.
Anyhow, with that, I want to thank everyone for stopping by for the stream today, for your support, and then also a huge shout out to everyone who has been donating. I'm not sure if I remember everyone. Knows Zeus, Plum. I've seen Eli. Thank you, Eli, for donating to your own, yeah, for your own organization. Joanna, indeed.
Let me see. I think Kim donated a song.
Kim too. Mel too. Man, I will get around making a little something to at least thank everyone on stream. I just genuinely did not expect all of you to immediately go in with those donations, but I couldn't be more grateful for it. So thank you very much for that. And like I said earlier, for those who cannot afford to spend any money or don't want to do so or whatever, just it's all right. Just don't feel pressured to donate anything. Even by watching ads, that's why we have the ads on. You already help us a lot, because any money that will be made from these streams will directly go into season 3, and we'll actually have a cash prize for the winners of season 3. So thank you for helping out with that. And for now, we're just gonna try and get this second season of ICL to the best we can get it. So yeah, thank you everyone for checking in, and hopefully see you tomorrow for some more amazing matchups.
I would like to say, Egg Racer says, doesn't Mickey the world. Thank you so much, Egg Racers. Joanna, also, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you, Emmy, for supporting me and Daza as a team. And guys, if you want to see Daza boxing commentary, let us know. I need to see Daza boxing commentary.
Oh dear. I already have some bets put up for the stream. Don't make it even worse.
Dazzler, you did amazing. Don't worry about it. Guys, we love you all so much for your support. Just being here is enough. And I also couldn't ask for a better community to commentate for, a better game to commentate for, or anything, or a better person to commentate for. Dazzler, you're amazing. I love you. You're awesome.
Well, so are you. Thank you so much for being here today. I know it was kind of on short notice since Eli sadly could not make it today, but I'm glad to be here with you. So yeah, thank you for that. And once again, see all of
Absolutely.
you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. Take care.